tall as the top guy. It's really
taste you'll like for a change. By the 28 Oldsmobile dealers in the Grand Olds game. Get the Oldsmobile Buy of the Year now during the GOG's year-end closeout sale. By the men and women of United States Steel. By the Pittsburgh area J.C. Penney stores. By Pittsburgh National Bank, where you can earn day-in, day-out interest on money manager savings accounts. And by McDonald's Family Restaurants, the winning team that does it all for you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the world's largest outdoor sauna. With Andy Russell, I'm Sam Nover at Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas. It is 100 degrees on the floor of this stadium where the Pittsburgh Steelers and Dallas Cowboys, two of pro football's class teams, will meet head-on in the final preseason game of 1978. And, Andy, it's interesting to note that two of pro football's premier defensive linemen over the past 7 or 8 years come from the city of Dallas, namely Joe Green and Dwight White.
That's right. I think Joe Green has unquestionably been the dominant force in professional football in the last decade. That's how good he's been. Dwight White has been consistently a big play guy. He's there when you need him. His pride's been hurt a little bit, and he wants to come back and show how good he really is.
Well, ironically, Dwight White went to the same school as the man who is now considered the premier defensive lineman in pro football, namely Harvey Martin. And Dwight, in fact, helped his pass rushing skills a great deal. And along with Mr. Martin, you've got Ed Too Tall Jones, 72.
That's right. A lot of people think Too Tall is the top guy. It's really been Harvey Martin. Harvey Martin has led the Dallas Cowboys in sacks the last 3 or 4 years. Too Tall has all the promise. He's the guy with the great physical tools, and he's going to be putting some heat on that quarterback tonight.
You can't do a broadcast on the Dallas Cowboys back to Pittsburgh and Western Pennsylvania without talking about number 33, Anthony Drew Dorsett, if you will. We'll probably call him Dorsett most of the night. In fact, he told me before game time, don't worry about it.
Tony Dorsett is unquestionably the finest young running back in football today, and he's up for tonight because he wants to kind of redeem himself from last year. You know, the Steelers shut him down pretty good, so he wants to come back.
Andy, some people say these teams will do nothing but lean on each other tonight. It's a final preseason game. They know they'll be ready by next Sunday. What do you think about tonight?
I think they're really psyched up. You can lose to New York Giants.
Yeah.
You can lose to those people, but you do not want to lose to the Dallas Cowboys. And this is a game, the Steelers, the Cowboys are ready.
I expect a fabulous football game. Let's go down to the field now and the flip of the coin. The tri-captains for the Pittsburgh Steelers, namely 75 Joe Green, 57 Sam Davis, and 58 Jack Lambert, heading out to the center of the field. Your officials tonight, the referee is number 40, Pat Haggerty. This is basically the same crew that we had in Baltimore in the preseason opener with the Steelers and the Colts. With the exception of the referee, it was Chuck Heberling on that occasion. The umpire tonight is Al Conway, the head linesman Walt Peters. The line judge is Vern Marshall, the back judge Jim Poole. The side judge is Dick Creed, the Steubenville, Ohio native, and the field judge is Bob Lewis. And the Dallas Cowboys lining up. They have 5 captains. Robert Newhouse, 44. Randy White, 54.
They're trying to intimidate us already, Sam. They got more captains than
got us outnumbered 5-3, Andy. Well, this place will be jammed to capacity. 91 degrees is the temperature here in Dallas at game time. Clear to partly cloudy, a slight chance of thunderstorms. Of course, if you're familiar with Texas Stadium, you know that all the seats are covered. However, the playing field is not covered. A rather unusual situation, to say the least, Andy, as far as stadia is concerned.
Sam, it gets very, very hot here. On the field, it's probably 105 to 110 degrees, and the heat will be a factor tonight, no question about it. We played here a few years ago on a Sunday afternoon. It was so hot that the defensive players and the Steelers were saying, whatever we do, we were defending in the shade. Let's not let the Cowboys get into the sunshine.
And what happened when they did?
They got into the sunshine, we wilted, and they won the game.
Oh, me, oh, my. The Dallas Cowboys are defending Super Bowl champions twice. They have won it all. 4 times they have been there under their infamous coach, Tom Landry. I shouldn't say infamous. Tom Landry has done a fabulous job. He's just been there so long that you sometimes wonder what this organization would be without him.
Oh, he's an excellent coach. I played in a couple of Pro Bowls when he was the coach, and he is a very classy gentleman. He's got a lot of style. He's very knowledgeable about the game. He's been there. They're shooting for their 3rd Super Bowl. They've got, just like the Steelers. It's going to be a big game.
Kicking off for the Cowboys, their rookie place kicker is number 13, Jay Sherrill. The Steelers set to receive this kickoff. Long, end over end, and taken out of bounds, and they mark it at the 2-yard line. Number 28, Alvin Maxson, pulling a rookie mistake. Well, now they're taking the ball back again and saying that he did not catch it in bounds, that he caught it out of bounds. So I was a little quick to pass judgment on Maxson, but this crowd is buzzing, Andy.
Well, the official threw his hat down as though he was going to say that Maxson was in bounds when he caught the ball. I think they've made the right decision. He was out of bounds when his feet came down. He did not retrieve that ball. And we're very fortunate, obviously, that we're not starting this ball game on the 3-yard line.
There's a look at Chuck Noll on the Steelers sideline. Number 39, Rick Mosier, is at the far side of the field to return this kick. Alvin Maxson on the near side. And the man in the middle is Larry Anderson, the rookie out of Louisiana Tech. And so the place kicker, Jay Sherrill, spelled exactly as in the head coach of the Pitt Panthers, Jackie Sherrill, S-H-E-R-R-I-L-L. A rookie out of North Carolina State, and oddly enough, not a draft choice, but a free agent. And he will have to kick it from his 30-yard line after the 5-yard walk-off. So the Steelers, with a decent return from Anderson, can have some pretty good field position here as we start the game. Nice to have you with us. Final preseason tune-up, both teams 2-1 in the exhibition go. Far side, it's Mosier at his 13-yard line. The 30, almost to the 35, and he's brought down just outside the hash mark.
The Steelers have felt that their deep men have not had the success they should have been having on the kickoff returns because the wedge has been leaving a little bit early. There has to be a great deal of timing between the wedge and the return men, and if they don't time it up properly, they won't make the yardage.
Jay Saldy is the man who made the tackle. What kind of offensive pattern here in the first series, Andy?
Well, I think they've got to go to Franco. He's the man. He had 179 yards last year during the regular season game, and I think they like cutback type running.
Harris cutting back behind a block across the 35 to about the 36-yard line. The Cowboys have a number of defensive changes. Let's try to set their defensive alignment. They've got Jones 72, Jethro Pugh 75, Randy White, who made the stop, 54, Harvey Martin 79 up front. Guy Brown has replaced Tom Henderson at left linebacker. D.D. Lewis on the right side, Bob Brunig in the middle. Second down, Andy, what do you like?
Well, I think they might run to the weak side and take Rocky and see if they can get outside. They've noticed that the Dallas Cowboys like to penetrate, pitch things off inside. They want to go wide tonight.
Flyer getting a block from Sam Davis, getting no more than a yard or two, fighting for everything that he got. Brunig is the man he was battling with. Number 53, the 4-year veteran out of Arizona State. So the Steelers will have a third down situation. Russell is 2 for 2, and he's going into retirement, I can assure you.
Well, it's obvious, Sam, that I'm getting tipped off here.
We can't fool them forever.
But, you know, the Dallas Cowboys really didn't pinch off inside that time, and they are keyed up. They want to stop the Steeler running game.
Both Swan and Stahl were split to the bottom of your screen. Harris, 32, Blyer, 20, the setbacks. Third down, 5.
Watch Stallworth hook up in this zone.
First down to Stallworth as he came back for it at the 44-yard line. And that will be just good enough for a Steeler first down, the first of the night.
All right, we see Terry Bradshaw dropping back. There's good pressure here by Jones. Too tall, leaping. He might have been able to get him. Terry very alertly goes outside and finds Stallworth, who was fairly well covered, but found that opening seam. You see Stallworth fighting for extra yards, but he does pick up the first down.
Let's spot the ball at the Steeler 45. Stallworth wide to the left, Swan to the bottom of your screen and to the right. And that flex defense of the Dallas Cowboys. Well, they do a lot of different things. And they've got some outstanding veterans. Harris trying to cut back against the flow and falls to about the 47. A pickup of perhaps 3 yards on the play. Stopped by Guy Brown, 59. And Charlie Waters, the strong safety, 41. They've got a couple of veteran safeties, Andy, who have been around for 9 years, who just don't know what it is to be anything but all-pro.
Oh, that's right, Sam. They've got two great safeties, Cliff Harris and Waters. They really are fine players, and they're good against the run and the pass. They balance themselves very well.
Both receivers to the top of the screen, Swan and Stallworth. 2nd down, 7, Pittsburgh. Gives straight ahead to Flyer, gets to midfield, and that's about it. And the blocking is very, very difficult. It's Charlie Waters, 41, and the middle linebacker, Brunig, 53, to make the stop. So the Steelers again with a 3rd down, about 5 yards to keep the drive alive, right on the midfield stripe.
Steelers feel that you must attack the flexed end. You see, the Dallas Cowboys do something that's sort of unique in professional football. They take one of their defensive linemen and drop them off the ball. Nobody else does it. The Cowboys are the only team that plays that defense. The Steelers want to run right at it.
That's center in pro football, 52, Mike Webster, out over the ball. Both receivers are wide to the left. Bradshaw back to pass. Here's that too tall. Quick release, but a little shy of Flyer. Bradshaw trying to get the ball to his back, but the blitz was on. Not only was too tall coming, but so was 59 Guy Brown.
Guy Brown is the 2nd fastest sprinter on the Dallas club. The man is 6 feet 4, Sam, 228, and he ran a 4.640. And in that time, he was coming on the blitz, put the pressure on, and we've got a 4th down and punt situation.
Craig Colquitt standing in the neighborhood of his own 36-yard line, kicking to Butch Johnson, single safety for the Cowboys, number 86. Colquitt desperately needs a good week.
He was booming in the pregame practice.
Well, he shanked that one. See if he gets a good bounce. They spot the ball at the 19-yard line, a kick of 31 yards, no return. And the Dallas Cowboys will put the ball in play for the first time in the game at their own 19-yard line. And Roger Staubach comes out with some heavy artillery, to say the least. Newhouse, 44. And if you'll permit me tonight, Tony doesn't take exception to it. Dorsett, 33 at the running back.
Well, he likes that Dorsett. That's his handle now.
Well, how about Hawk?
All right.
He liked that, I know, in the I formation. And the give is to Dorsett, coming outside to the 20, 25, and steps out of bounds in front of Mike Wagner, but a flag is down. Penalty marker in the neighborhood of Gold and Richards, and it may be a clip against the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think they got Goldie clipping or holding on Mel Blount. Now, see Tony Dorsett, 33, breaking to the outside so quickly that he outmaneuvers 56 Robin Cole, and then we see Blount, 47, coming off that block, and Tony being run out of bounds by Mike Wagner, number 23. Dorsett has that explosive ability to take a play that was designed to go inside, break it to the outside, and pick up big yardage when it really wasn't there. That play was designed to go inside.
Tony and his teammates are particularly excited tonight. Just last night, they received their Super Bowl rings, and what a fabulous thing it is. And, Andy, you know what it's like, the thrill to get your first one. Tony was a tremendously excitable young man when I spoke with him in the dressing room about an hour ago, and, of course, he wanted to send his love along to his mother and father, and Alec Quippen, his 6 brothers and sisters. And so we will do that for him gladly. Into the I formation, Newhouse is the up back. He gets the call. Stopped by Furness along with Green, 75, and he finally pulls him down. Steve Furness back around the 11 or 12-yard line.
You know, the Cowboys think that Steve Furness is the finest defensive lineman the Steelers have, which is an unusual stance. I mean, not many people in Pittsburgh, I think that. And one of the reasons the Cowboys believe that is he did so well in Super Bowl 10. He really dominated his man and played probably one of the finest games that any Steeler played in that football game.
He had a big hole to fill, as I remember. 75 didn't see much action that day.
That's right.
2nd down, 15. No score. First quarter from Texas Stadium. A capacity crowd. 70,000 plus. Staubach, play action. Throws it. He's got a blocker out there for Dorsett. Flag is down, however, and Tony is brought down. Great coverage by 59 Jack Ham. They had him out there isolated with a blocker in front of Dorsett, and it didn't do much good.
Sam, that's the problem. Jack Ham makes plays look so easy. What he just did was an impossible play. I mean, there may be 1 or 2 linebackers in the league. In fact, Jack Ham may be the only one. We see him, number 59, walking back to the huddle very nonchalantly as though he made an average kind of play. But that was an incredible football play. Played off the blocker and took, probably the most elusive running back in football and embarrassed him.
Number 68, Unfortunately, it didn't help any because L.C. Greenwood was offside. So the 5-yard walk-off, the Cowboys have it now 2nd down and 10. And we're back to the 19-yard line. The Cowboys have lost it down
Last week,
whole series.
I'm sorry, Sam. Last week, the Steelers defensive line was offside 5 times, and that has to stop because that kind of penalty is going to kill them.
Dorsett came from the deep back in the eye to the twin back and then back to the deep back. Overthrown, intended for Drew Pearson, number 88, Staubach's favorite receiver, but it was closer to Mel Blount, and I think Staubach just threw that one away.
Well, I really think that Staubach read the zone, and what he did, they have what they call a zone adjustment, where the receiver runs a different pattern than was what was called the huddle. Staubach thought he saw a zone, went to the zone adjustment. The wide receiver didn't agree with him. Drew Pearson ran something else. So those things happen.
Preston Pearson and Golden Richards into the lineup in a passing situation. The shotgun will be employed presumably by Staubach. And the Steelers have gone to a 5th defensive back, 21 Tony Dungy. They'll do that a lot tonight in long 3rd down situations. Staubach throwing the home run ball for Pearson, overthrew him by 10 yards. The Steelers had excellent coverage, particularly the rookie Ron Johnson out of Eastern Michigan.
You know, one of the keys to getting sacks is to have good pass coverage. If you can give that defensive line that 1 second or 2 seconds longer, they can get the sacks. And the Steelers in the past have had that blanket coverage when the quarterback went back there. Couldn't find anybody open, and a lot of sacks were resulting. Joe Green told me before the game that hasn't been happening this year.
Danny White in the neighborhood of his 5-yard line will be kicking to a single safety. I think it's Rudershan, number 40, although I can't see the number, but I think Randy's back there in single safety.
And he is back there awfully deep.
White hits him at the 42, 45 midfield, and Rudershan into Dallas territory. And so Randy Rudershan, former Pitt star, takes the punt back into the Dallas 48-yard line. And he's brought down there by Scott Laidlaw, number 35, a kick of 39 yards, a return of 7.
Well, Chuck Noll was upset in that circumstance because they wanted to get that return going.
There's a timeout on the field. The score, the Steelers nothing, the Cowboys nothing.
You are the one who keeps coming back. There's something about a Big Mac that keeps you coming back. Keeps you coming back to that Big Mac. Into the juice, all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce and cheese, put a big old sesame seed. Nothing about the sesame seed. We do it all for you. Coming back to a Big Mac.
Beginning Monday, August 28th, buy a Big Mac and get a Paper-Mate pen back free.
Good morning, sir. Isn't that Cutlass a beauty? Solid, too. Right now, the Grand Olds Gang is having a gigantic year-end closeout sale, including Cutlass Supreme, Cutlass Salon, and Cutlass Cruiser. Go ahead. Get in and get that great Cutlass feeling. Lots of legroom, even for a big guy like you.
1978 Cutlass prices were never lower. So get out now to the Grand Olds Gang for a year-end closeout sale. It's for real.
Welcome back to Texas Stadium with Andy Russell. I'm Sam Nover. We shorted Mr. Rudershan 3 yards, give him 10 on the return. Steelers in Dallas territory for the 2nd time tonight. No score in the game. Bradshaw still has Harris 32 and Blyer number 20 as his setbacks. Sideline, he's got Swan at the 35, inside the 30 and dragged down by Brunig. And Bradshaw on the money to Lynn Swan for the first down.
Let's take a look at it. Bradshaw catching him off guard with play-action pass on 1st down. And frankly, Lynn Swan was wide open. See him making some people miss, and Bob Brunig makes a good second-effort tackle. I think the Steelers have to do more of that, Sam. Come off on 1st down, a little play-action. Not always run the ball on 1st down.
Gain of 20 yards on 1st down. At the 28 of Dallas, both receivers set to the right. And the give is to Blyer. He's got Harris out in front of him. Outrunning Harvey Martin inside the 25 to about the 24, and the flag is down there. See what this one is all about. The Cowboys against Pittsburgh, the preliminary indication, by the referee Haggerty. But the Steelers lost 30-0 here in their final preseason game last year, and everybody thought that that was going to be an indicator of things to come, and then they went out and whipped San Francisco 27-0 in the regular season opener, Andy. However, they did have early season troubles.
Yeah, I think it's important that they win tonight. You want to win against the top teams, and let's face it, Dallas is last year's Super Bowl champion, and to beat them tonight would mean a lot, I think. Although you can't forget the fact that the Steelers literally swamped the Dallas Cowboys later in the year in the regular season play, even though they lost 30-0 at the preseason.
Benny Cunningham, the culprit. Holding is the call. Second penalty against the Steelers for 15 yards. First down, 18. Bradshaw. Wide receiver screen to Swan. Cuts in behind a block. 25, 20, 15, 10. And out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Run out by Guy Brown, who Andy told you just moments ago is the second quickest man on the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, that was amazing. You know, Guy Brown really showed me some speed there. Okay, we catch him again on a quick screen out to Swan. Look at the support here. Larry Brown making a big block, number 79. Super block there by Jerry Mullins, springing Swan. And we see, look at this, Guy Brown, 6'4", 228, bringing Lynn Swan down from behind. Incredible.
Doesn't happen very often. First and goal, Steelers at the Cowboys 1. Extra tight end Mullins, 72, as John Hicks moves into a guard slot, 61. A little more beef up front. Pitch to Harris. Cutting inside Flyers block, and it's down at the 2-yard line. Pretty good play by Brunig.
Aaron Kyle put a Chinese heel lock on Franco Harris that time. He was blocked down completely out of the play, and he swung the back of his legs. He just literally whipped him, and he knocked him down.
What did you call that, a Chinese what?
That's what we call it in the trade, Sam.
Yeah.
Chinese heel lock.
Right.
But it was an incredible play because he was totally out of the play.
Second down and goal at the 2. Steelers lose 1. See what the doomsday defense can do here. And the give to Blyer. Try to cut inside. Touchdown, Blyer. Fighting his way into the end zone, and the Steelers draw first blood here in Dallas, 6-0.
Good second effort running by Rocky. Number 20, Rocky Blyer, with Franco Harris, 32, leading on Brunig. And oh, look at this block by Franco. Excellent block. And look at the second effort by Rocky getting in the end zone. All right, we're hot tonight, Sam. Not only is the weather hot, the team is ready.
Got a great feeling about it, do you, sir?
That's right. We got to get it psyched.
Girella will attempt to make it 7-0 out of a Craig Colquitt hold.
I might point out right here that the Steeler extra point team has been consistently bad this year, not because of kicking problems, but because of penetration. They've been getting penetration up in the middle. Let's take a close look right here.
And the kick by Girella is up and good. And so there's a timeout on the field. Wait a second. We've got a flag down. Let's see whether this is against the Dallas Cowboys. If so, it'll be refused, obviously. Offside. Pittsburgh got an extra point. What are they doing?
Well, they must have just lined up offsides. It's doubtful anybody would jump, although you see there's no count called. The ball is snapped when the center is ready. So, you know, the offensive lineman is used to hearing a count. Now, what will happen here is they'll just wait until the ball is snapped. And sometimes that man is looking at the defender and not concentrating on the ball. So it can happen more easily than you might think.
And so now Girella will kick what amounts to a 25-yard field goal for the extra point. This kick is up, and it is good, but another flag is down. Got another flag down in the neighborhood of the 8-yard line. Boy, Andy, you may be right. If this is against Pittsburgh again, it'll be because somebody is lining up offsides, and they've done it again.
I don't believe this. You know, Roy Girella told us before the game that he wanted a lot of practice tonight. You know, he hasn't had much work, and he said, I want to do a lot of kicking tonight. So right here off the bat, he's getting some practice. Look at him. He says, this is terrific. This is what I needed.
What do you got to do to get one that counts?
He says, go offsides again, fellas. I need some more.
He's working up a sweat down there, isn't he? And it isn't very often that place kickers sweat, I can assure you.
Roy tells us he likes Colquitt as a holder. He says Colquitt's got a lot of coolness under fire, which I thought was an unusual comment about a rookie. They have a rapport, too, which is necessary.
I can assure you Colquitt wasn't drafted to hold for Roy Girella. He's got other responsibilities.
Right.
From a 30-yard kick for the extra point. That one is up, and no good! So there's a timeout on the field. The score, the Pittsburgh Steelers 6, the Dallas Cowboys nothing.
Like a lot of people, Howard and I were losing interest. So we got some professional help. We got a money manager. It's the money manager savings account from Pittsburgh National Bank. Now we get day in, day out interest in our savings, and we get it right where we do our other banking. You might say we found new interest. Right, Howard?
Day in, day out interest
Howard.
at Pittsburgh National Bank.
Howard!
This is us. This is J.C. Penney.
This is us, with savings right now of $75 to $130 on a set of 4 J.C. Aramid Radials, the premium passenger tire with a gentle ride. And get $28 to $40 off a set of 4 J.C. El Tigra 278 bias belted tires. These savings and more at your J.C. Auto Center.
This is J.C. Penney.
Well, in case you're interested, John Hicks was the culprit on the offside call, at least one of the two that were called against the Steelers, number 61, and he got what you would call your good old-fashioned reaming from head coach Chuck Noll when he came to the sidelines, Andy.
Yeah, he's down there defending himself rather vociferously. I think sometimes defensive linemen will actually try and draw the man offside. It's something that's coached, and Dallas was successful in that instance.
Here's Girella's kick, a yard deep in the end zone to Dennis Thurman, number 15, to the 20, and almost to the 25-yard line. Dennis is a rookie from Southern California, and the stop made for the Steelers by, as they unpile, 39 Rick Mosier.
It was also made by number 30, Larry Anderson, Sam, and he did something I don't like to see. He came in and he tried to cut block the man down. Rather than wrapping his arms and tackling him the way you should, he tried to knock him down with his head, throwing his head at the man's feet. You shouldn't do that. Good runners will make you miss.
So the Cowboys have a 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line, trailing 6-0. And they've got their first unit in there. From deep in the eye, Dorsett outside, 25-30. Spun around and knocked down at the 32, almost good enough for a first down, but he did something, Andy, you won't see very often, and that is to get outside of Jack Ham.
Well, you know, Jack Ham was reacting to the blocks, fighting pressure, moving to the point of attack, which was up inside. We see number 33, Dorsett, breaking outside so quickly that the Steeler defense can't recover. That kind of ability, he's making yards by himself. He's all alone out there. This is an incredibly talented individual.
2nd down, 1 Cowboys. Come out in the I formation. They only have one receiver, Pearson, number 88 to the top of your screen. That's Drew Pearson. Newhouse, 44, is the up back. He gets the handoff a big hole as he pulls his way to the 41-yard line. Stopped by Wagner, Mel Blunt, and 76, John Banaszak. But the Cowboys are on the move with the first down at their own 41.
Cowboys felt that they must run the ball tonight. They were shut down pretty well by Pittsburgh in the regular season game last year. They want to establish a running attack.
Let's get that offensive alignment for the Cowboys. Billy Joe Dupree, 89, is a tight end. Donovan, 67. Andy Frederick, 71 of the tackles. Herbert Scott, 68. Tom Rafferty, 64. The guards in the center is number 61, Jim Cooper. Staubach is the quarterback. Newhouse and Dorsett, the running backs. Drew Pearson and Butch Johnson now in motion. 86 Johnson. Slot right. Dorsett runs right into 75, Mean Joe Green. Woo!
I tell you, Joe Green was so psyched before this game. I had a long talk with him, and he really was hurt by some recent publicity about whether or not he's injured or he isn't injured, and he said it hurt him, and he had something to prove tonight, and I think he just started out proving it right there. He is up. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to step on you.
You have reason to be excited, I know. I know you're a great fan of Joe's and a great friend, and delighted to see him still with that innate great talent that he's got. Loss of 4, 2nd down, 14. Staubach, good protection. Now some pressure from Green. He's got a lot of room to run if he wants to. Throws it downfield. He's got a receiver. At the 40-yard line, Drew Pearson finally pulled out of bounds by Donnie Shell. Also to the coverage, Ron Johnson, 29, but the Cowboys have a first down in Pittsburgh territory.
All right, the Steelers had good pressure there. You see Joe Green, number 75, coming free, but Staubach, being fairly elusive, gets outside, has time. Look at him. He's not really interested in running the ball. That takes a lot of poise, and he finds his receiver, Drew Pearson, who just has that ability to get open. A good tackle here by Donnie Shell, number 31.
There is no question that Drew Pearson is to the Dallas Cowboys what Lynn Swann is to the Pittsburgh Steelers. If not the two best, they are two of the 3 or 4 best receivers in pro football. Dorsett on the quick pitch to about the 33, cutting back. Robin Cole, 56, and Lambert, 58, along with Steve Furness making the stop. A gain of perhaps 4 on the carry by Tony.
Dorsett feels that the Cowboys have not really reached their potential this year. They haven't got things in full swing because they've been running in so many different substitutes that they just couldn't use their starting lineup. Tonight they're going with the starting team all the way.
5 minutes and 45 seconds left on a moving clock. First quarter. Steelers lead 6-0. Now coming in motion is Pearson. Staubach with all day to throw the ball. Has Newhouse. Inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. The Cowboys will have it, first and goal to go.
All right. Robert Newhouse, number 44. We see him walking back to the Cowboy huddle. He's not your most elusive running back. He cannot beat you man for man. I think any Steeler linebacker could cover him like a drum. The Steelers were in a zone, and they really just let him go. They got sucked into the inside looking for crossing patterns, and he found Newhouse wide open.
And give credit to the 10-year veteran Roger Staubach, who had all day and picked him out of the crowd. He found the man that perhaps was not his primary receiver, but the man who got him the most distance, I can tell you. First and goal at the 8. Busted play. Staubach still turns it into a yard and a half gain to about the 7.
A lot of people think of Staubach as a scrambler. He is an effective runner, but I noticed last year he really didn't run like a scrambler. He had about less than 4 yards a carry, which is a low average for a quarterback. And he does not want to run the ball. He's sort of like Tarkington. They just scramble to give themselves additional time.
Andy, I want to pose a question, something that you might address yourself to, and that is, who's won that left cornerback spot? JT's old spot. It would appear to be Johnson, but I'd like your thoughts on it after this play. Staubach, second down, over the middle, deflected. Pearson came back for it, but somebody got a hand on it. I think it might have been LC. How about that cornerback spot that J.T. Thomas manned so capably for the last 4 years, 5 years?
Well, it's an appropriate question because they were picking on that spot right there. I think it's still up. It's still undecided, Sam. They are very high on Ron Johnson. They like Larry Anderson. Mel Blunt told us that he thought he was the finest young defensive back they had. They've got some talent. Matt Terry's been looking good. So they haven't quite decided. They've got some good people. We see number 29, Ron Johnson, walking back out to his spot. And this is where it gets a little bit hairy to play defensive secondary.
Third down and goal from the Steelers' 7. Staubach rushes on. Furness missed him. Into the end zone. Batted down beautifully by Robin Cole. And almost into the arms of somebody who just happened to be in the vicinity.
All right, I don't think Robin Cole did the right thing in that instance. He obviously made a great play, deflected the ball, but he should not have attempted to slap it back. All right, number 12, Staubach dropping back. He fakes the ball. Now, right there, Steve Furness, he's going to hate to see the film. Steve is such a good player, and he just flat out missed him. Went too high. Should have put his helmet in his back. Now here, 56, Cole going up, slapping the ball back, almost deflected for a touchdown. He should have tried to intercept the ball.
Boy, it touched Newhouse's fingers, didn't it? Jay Sherrill will attempt from the 15. The kick is up, and it is good out of a Charlie Waters hold. A field goal of 25 yards by the rookie free agent Jay Sherrill. So there's a timeout on the field here at Texas Stadium. The score of the Steelers 6 and the Cowboys 3.
You're looking at the undefeated champ of Pittsburgh, Iron City Beer. And now, Iron City, are you coming out with a light beer? Well, Iron City, if that new light isn't the greatest thing that happened to beer, you'll answer to Bruno.
New Iron City Light. A light beer with a taste you'll like for a change.
That new light better be great, Iron City. Remember what I did to Killer Kowalski.
Where does U.S. Steel get the great quantities of energy needed to make steel? In recent years, we've been using more coal and more of the gases produced from it. Now, this lets us cut our use of natural gas and our use of fuel oil. Much of the coal we use comes from our own mines, and we have reserves that should last for a century. Self-reliance at United States Steel. It's one of our strengths.
And so with 3 minutes and 56 seconds left in the first quarter, the Cowboys get on the board. A 25-yard field goal by Jay Sherrill. And you look at the three deep men for the Steelers on this kick by Sherrill. The near side is Maxson, 28. In the middle, Anderson, 30. Mosier, 39 on the far side. Here's your kicker in the Dallas Cowboys. Sherrill, right down the gut. Anderson will field it right at his goal line. At the 10. Cutting to the outside to the 22-yard line. On top is number 27, Todd Christensen. At the bottom, number 25, Aaron Kyle, along with Randy Hughes. So the Steelers put the ball in play at their own 22-yard line.
I think to get to the Super Bowl, both teams have to have quality special teams. It's 1/3 of the total game. We tend to think only in terms of offense and defense. Special teams are critical, and Dallas and Pittsburgh have traditionally had great special teams.
Both wide receivers split wide to the left. Stallworth is the outside man. Swan in the slot. On first down again, Bradshaw to pass. Got his tight end Cunningham at the 47-yard line. And he took it right out of the hands of Randy Hughes, or is it Brudig, the middle linebacker, 53.
Number 12, Bradshaw dropping back. They're in their slot formation. They wanted to use that formation because they have a better ability to predict what Dallas is going to do. They can read the defense better. Number 89 catching it on the deep cross, Benny Cunningham, and they wanted to catch Benny. You know, last week they hit Benny on a very similar play, and he was open. They want to go to Benny more, use him more.
25 yards on the pass from Bradshaw to Benny Cunningham. First down, Steelers at their own 47. Bradshaw again, rolling right. Cuts inside of Harvey Martin, and is brought down from behind by Martin, 79. He cut inside of Tuchel, 72, and Martin finally dragged him down from behind.
I kind of like what the Steelers are doing here. They're coming out, play action passes on first down. I think they've got the Dallas defense a little confused. Dallas figured that all they do is run the ball with Franco and try to attack with the running game, and they've been more unpredictable than they usually are.
Terry Bradshaw, 4 out of 5 for 87 yards. Second down, 5. Steelers at the Dallas 48. Harris runs into Brunig, breaks that tackle, and picks up 3 more as he gets inside the 45. Cliff Harris coming from his free safety spot to make the tackle secure. And John Hicks and Ray Pinney come into the lineup. The Steelers on a 3rd and short, try to get some added beef up front.
Talked to Ernie Stautner, the former Steeler great, before the game, and I said, how do you stop Pittsburgh? He said, well, you've got to stop Franco. Very simplistic statement. I said, well, how do you do that? He said, you can't stop and hesitate. You've got to follow through with your tackle, and last year they felt that they hesitated too much.
3rd down and about a yard. Mullins in motion, and to give the flyer. And he's met head-on, and a great tackle there by Tuchel. Jones got him, number 72, as he fought off the block, and I don't believe Blyer got enough for the first down, but we'll have to wait and see till they spot it.
Tuchel is such a great athlete. Number 72 standing there, walking back to the sideline. In the super teams in Hawaii, Sam, Tuchel Jones happened to run in the 220 against Rocky Blyer, who you would think would be far faster. Rocky's a 4'6", 40 man, has good speed. Tuchel was unbelievably quick.
Number 1 draft choice in 1974 in the entire college draft. Ed Too Tall Jones, 6'9", 260 out of Tennessee State. Colquitt, second punt of the night. A little better. Driving Golden Richards back inside the 10. Great tackle. Larry Anderson. Number 30, the first man down the field, and he decks Richards at about the 6-yard line, and that's where the Cowboys will have to put it in play.
Great play by Larry Anderson. He got down there very quickly, and he did what we just talked about. He didn't hesitate. There's a tendency when you come on the runner to break down and try to get yourself under control. And when you do that against good runners, they make you miss. And he didn't hesitate a second. He just followed through with his tackle, and he stuck him for a big loss.
38-yard punt by Colquitt, and the important thing, no return. In fact, perhaps a loss of a few yards on the attempted return by Richards. Pittsburgh Steelers Football Club has approved the selection of announcers for this telecast, and the announcers are employed by WIIC-TV 11 Alive. Yeah, there are the famed Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, Andy. Well, everybody's got them now, don't they?
Well, they're all over the country doing advertising and promotions, and they've really started a craze, and most teams have them, the Steelers being one of the few holdouts.
47 seconds left here in the first quarter, 6-3 Pittsburgh. As you look at defensive coordinator George Perlis and some of his charges. Banaszak, 76, Tom Beasley, 65. And number 69 is going to be a good one, Freddie Anderson. At the other side, Tom Landry. And you were talking to an old Pittsburgh favorite, his right arm, Mr. Landry's right arm, weren't you, before the game?
Yeah, Ernie Stotner and, of course, Stan Reeves. We try to talk to all the opponents' coaches if we can to get a feel, and they've got an awful lot of respect for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
So the Cowboys at their own 6. Play action. Great pass. Completed to Pearson to the 28-yard line. What a fabulous play by Staubach and the Cowboys. Wagner finally brought him down, but Drew Pearson on a play action pass got him out of deep trouble.
Well, I think they caught the Steelers a little bit off guard here. Drew Pearson on a simple crossing pattern. Donnie Shell looked like he overcommitted himself, number 31, and if Mike Wagner hadn't been there, he might have gone all the way.
Boy, and Ron Johnson just bounced off Pearson, trying to hit him hard rather than worrying about making the tackle secure. He gave Pearson another 8 or 10 yards. Here's a draw play to Dorsett. Nothing doing there. He ran right into 56, Robin Cole, and number 78, Dwight White. And the gun sounds. We got a great football game. Hope you're enjoying it. Back where you are, there's the end of the first quarter here at Texas Stadium. And the score, the Steelers 6 and the Dallas Cowboys 3.
Where do you take your RX?
We always take ours to the RXperts at Thrift Drug. We not only appreciate the 10% senior citizen discount, but Dad and I have known the pharmacist for years. And at Thrift, we can use our JCPenney charge card, too, so that we always have good tax records. We wouldn't take our prescription to anyone but the RXperts.
For just what the doctor ordered, at just what the price should be. Trust Thrift Drug, the RXperts.
The Grand Olds Gang announces their first year-end closeout sale in 5 years. There's no better time than right now to trade in your car for a new 78 Oldsmobile. We have over 3,000 new cars on sale at our lowest prices ever. So stop whatever you're doing, turn into your nearest Grand Olds Gang dealer, and drive out in the best deal of the year.
The GOG's gigantic year-end closeout sale. It's for real.
Welcome back to Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas. One quarter is complete, and Andy, while we have a moment, the Steelers enjoying the 6-3 advantage over the Cowboys. I would imagine that the very complex and multiple offense Dallas Cowboy arrangement there could cause grief for a defensive ball club.
Oh, it's extraordinarily complex, Sam. What the Steelers try to do, unlike most teams that play Dallas, is match every formation in the multiple offense with a defense that is honed to stop what they do out of that particular formation. It becomes very complicated. The Steelers will be making 4 or 5 different checks before the ball is snapped.
Unofficially, we have Dorsett with 17 yards and 4 carries in the first quarter. Cowboys have it at their own 32-yard line, 2nd and 7. Staubach. Running out of bounds at the midfield stripe is Tony Hill, number 80. And the Cowboys have another first down as the Steelers are not tackling very securely at this particular juncture of the game.
Well, that's for sure, Sam. They've been a little sloppy. Again, play-action passing, throwing the Steelers off guard. Staubach finding Pearson, and Mike Wagner coming up and just not wrapping him up. Excuse me, that's not Pearson. That's Tony Hill, number 80. And we see Ron Johnson, our first draft choice, 29, coming over and securing the tackle.
So the Cowboys march it up to the Steeler 49-yard line. They split both their wide receivers out to the left. Drew Pearson, 88, and Golden Richards, 83. And Staubach, inside handoff to Dorsett. Look at that hole. It closed quickly enough, though. Dwight White closed hard on Dorsett. And he got some help from Greenwood in green, so Tony held the short yardage on that play. Give him a gain of 3, make it second down 7 Cowboys.
I'll tell you, every time Dorsett gets his hands on the ball, he makes me nervous.
You got to hold your breath, don't you?
He's got that great explosiveness, and you just afraid he's going to bust one here. I'm sure the Steeler defense is thinking the same way.
Golden Richards is at the bottom of your screen on second down at quick count. Here's the screen to Dorsett. 45, stumbles. 40, avoids a tackle and trips and falls to about the 38-yard line where it'll be good enough for another Cowboy first down. Greenwood is there to make the tackle secure, but the Cowboys are really moving the football now against the Steelers starting 11.
They are. They're being very effective tonight. They've had one long drive for a field goal, and they're moving the ball again now. The Steeler defense, which has played extremely well all preseason, has got to tighten up right now.
Well, they have been known to bend, so to speak, Andy, in the middle of a lot of football games over the 1970s, but they don't break very often. First down, Cowboys at the 39. Here's Staubach again with play action. He's got a man over the middle. It's Tony Hill. Spins away from one tackler, and then Johnson finally puts him down along with Lambert. And a little extracurricular activity. Look at Lambert, jaw with the official.
You know, the papers here, Sam, referred to Jack Lambert as Jack Slam Dunk Lambert. There we see him, number 58. Of course, they were referring to the moment in the Super Bowl when he took Cliff Harris after Harris had been harassing Jarrell and slam dunked him. Many people thought that was one of the turning points of that Super Bowl.
I don't think there's any question about it. He stopped the Cowboy intimidation right on a dime, didn't he?
He's getting angry right now. He doesn't like when people move the ball.
He gave the back judge Jim Poole an earful. Tony Hill in motion to the left, and the pitch to Dorsett behind blocking. Trying to cut it outside. Shell ran him out of bounds. Neat play by Donnie Shell. Now Donnie and Tony puckied it over. There's always that little conversation going, huh?
Donnie chased him all the way across the warning track to the wall. Don't be coming around this end. I'll tell you, Donnie Shell, number 31 on your screen right there in the middle, is an excellent support man, one of the toughest defensive strong safeties in football in playing the run. He is a headhunter.
Dorsett still able to get 4 yards out of that one. Second down, 6. The Cowboys now at the Steeler 23. Pittsburgh leads it 6-3. 12 minutes, 30 seconds to go second quarter. And you are watching two of pro football's premier teams, particularly in the 70s. Staubach to Dorsett, shy of the first down. He's pulled back by Robin Cole. That'll be a couple of yards shy of the first down. Well, they spot his forward progress at about the 19. So let's say about a yard and a half shy. And the Steelers now in a third down situation bring in 67 Gary Dunn, 69 Freddie Anderson, 65 Tom Beasley. And they replace their entire starting front four. No one wants to see something here, I bet.
Well, it's an unusual move at this point in the game.
And the Cowboys have taken a timeout to talk it over. So with 11:58 to go in the half, the Cowboys have taken a timeout. And Andy, you talk about the change of defensive personnel. It is being written in recent days that Dwight White is in a death struggle for his job with John Banaszak, at least as a starter. We'll talk more about it. Let's take a timeout now with the score of the Steelers 6 and the Cowboys 3.
Ever see a Sunday smile?
You're the one. You with that Sunday smile, you're the one. You make it all worthwhile. Vanilla swirls with hot fudge, strawberry caramel too. That's how we're making sure we got a Sunday smile for you. At McDonald's, we got a smile for you. We do it all for you.
Mother worries I don't get enough interest, but I just found a money manager. It's the money manager savings account from Pittsburgh National Bank. Now I get day in, day out interest on my savings, right where I do my other banking. Mother, I've got a money manager.
Money manager? When do I meet him?
No, it's the money...
Day in, day out interest at Pittsburgh National Bank.
There are a lot of nice young men at that bank, Brenda.
It's unusual to replace the entire front four with four of the younger players, but I think one of the reasons for that, Sam, might be the incredibly hot field. These guys have to be awfully tired, and George Perlis probably wanted some fresh people in there.
Excellent point. You look at Dirt Winston on the sidelines. We're back live. Third down, about a yard and a half, Cowboys. Give to Newhouse. Somebody dived in there and took a shoe off. It was Vanazak. He thought he had him. And then the next thing he knew, he was holding Newhouse's shoe, and Newhouse was gone for the first down.
Newhouse wears those tearaway shoes. You know, it's very effective.
Tearaway shoes. What next?
I tell you, it's pretty tough to stop Dallas on short yardage. They've got some real horses up there at front, 6'7", 260. These guys like Donovan at tackle, and they can just flat blow people out of there.
Dorsett 23 yards and 7 carries thus far in the ballgame. First down and 10. Newhouse just getting the shoe back on. Line of scrimmage is the Steelers 16. Richards in motion. And they give to the near side. They have a new back in there, number 24, Lois Blackwell, and he's dropped for a loss of a yard or two. Jack Ham, 59, and Ron Johnson, good support on the run. And Lois Blackwell, the Cowboys' fourth-round draft choice, the rookie from Houston, getting a good look-see tonight.
And he was just introduced to one of the best linebackers in football, Jack Ham. Just stopped him for a 1-yard loss. You see Jack there trying to catch his breath. He's got to be very difficult to breathe in this type of a stifling 100-degree temperature.
Loss of a yard, second down, 11 Cowboys. The Steeler defense trying to gut it up here and hold the Cowboys to nothing more than 3 and perhaps nothing. Tony Hill in motion. Newhouse the upback. Inside the 15 and finally knocked down at the 13 by Dwight White. And also Mike Wagner giving support, number 23. And White and Newhouse exchanging some pleasantries.
The Cowboys are looking awfully sharp right now. They're mixing their plays well. They're keeping the Steeler defense off guard. It's difficult to anticipate what they're going to do.
Well, they make some offensive changes. Butch Johnson, 86. Tony Hill goes out. Drew Pearson is in. Golden Richards is in. 3 wide receivers for the Cowboys. Third down and 6. The ball of the Steeler 12. Staubach into the end zone. It's tipped away by Wagner. Boy, he had Johnson, it appeared. I'm sure Staubach thought he had 6 points. Wagner got his hand on it and tipped it away.
Just a great play by Wagner. You know, the Steelers are playing a zone, and at this part of the field, very few teams will play zone. The old theory was always play man-to-man because you can't play zone effectively in the end zone. But the Steelers have done it and employed it, and it worked in that instance. Great play by Mike Wagner.
Had a great isolated camera for you to watch the moves by Butch Johnson, thanks to our director, Olin Terry, here in Dallas. And so Jay Sherrill will attempt from the 20-yard line out of a Charlie Waters hold. It'll be a kick of 30. And it is wide right. So Jay Sherrill is 1 for 2 tonight. And there's a timeout on the field again here at Texas Stadium. The Steelers still leading the Cowboys 6-3.
One of the few things labor and management agree on is Iron City beer. And now, Iron City, I hear you're coming out with a light beer. Well, Iron City, if that new light isn't the greatest, you'll answer to the rank and file.
New Iron City Light. A light beer with a taste you like for a change.
Iron City, that light better be terrific, or I can't be responsible for the action of the membership.
JCPenney announces the biggest exterior paint sale of the year. A gigantic 40% savings on 3 fine house paints. One Coat, a durable, easy-to-apply flat latex. One Coat Plus Flat, JCPenney's most popular exterior. And One Coat Plus Semi-Gloss, a perfect finish for house and trim. This is the time to stock up on house paints, because this is the biggest exterior paint sale of the year.
This is JCPenney.
Welcome back to Texas Stadium with Andy Russell. I'm Sam Nover. And Russell, I just want to know if you feel secure enough tonight. You've got Murray Littmans, Jack Coleman, Sam Zacharias, 3 of your dearest friends and business associates. The only people not here are Nancy and the kids.
I need all the help I can get.
Those 3 gentlemen are doing the spotting and stat work for us tonight, and we greatly appreciate it. To the 25-yard line. The Steelers moving the football.
Both teams have moved the ball fairly well tonight. Steelers have not run the ball effectively, but their passing game has been sharp.
Jack Delaplane, 35, is one of the new backs. Along with, I believe, Sidney Thornton, 38. The Thundering Bull is there. Bradshaw still at quarterback. Both receivers who split wide to the right. Here's the pitch to Thornton trying to get outside. Bulls his way for a couple of yards to about the 28. And he will be perhaps a couple of yards shy of the first down. As you well know, the Steelers don't have the luxury of alternating a lot of receivers. They've only got 4, and only 3 who have played the position with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Stallworth, Swan, and T. Bell, although we understand Randy Rudershan will get some action at the wide receiving spot tonight.
On that last play, Sam, Sidney Thornton just ran right over Benny Barnes. Benny came up, made a good tackle, good form, head in the numbers, lifted, and Sidney ran right over him, put him on his back.
What he does best. 3rd down and 1. Steelers get some at it, blocking up front. And the give is to Thornton again. And he gets to, or Delaplane it is, I beg your pardon, to the 33-yard line and a Steeler first down. So they used Thornton as the decoy, thinking perhaps the Cowboys would be keen on him. 3rd down and short, and gave it to Delaplane.
Jack made an excellent cut on that. He was going to be thrown for about a 2-yard loss. Great penetration by Jethro Pugh. He stopped on a dime, cut inside, and picked up a big first down for us.
Both Stallworth and Swan come wide to the left. 7:54 to go on a turning clock, 2nd quarter. Bradshaw, quick out, intended for Stallworth. He underthrew him at about the 38-yard line. Aaron Kyle had the coverage. Number 25, the 3rd-year pro from Wyoming.
Terry hurried that one a little bit. The Cowboys were in a zone. Aaron Kyle was giving a lot of cushion on that. He dropped back fairly deep, and that could have been a completed pass. But I think Terry hurried it a little bit. He'd probably like to have that one back.
We've had a rather offensive first quarter and a half. The Cowboys 157 total yards. The Steelers 122 to this point. So they've moved the ball in both directions. And the flag is down.
Looked as though Sam Davis, number 57 of the Steelers, flinched.
Well, he did something because the Steelers have an illegal procedure call coming against them, and the walk-off of 5 yards.
It looked like Sam was going to pull on that time, and he's trying to get the quick jump. Either that or he's playing across from Randy White, MVP in the Super Bowl, number 54 from Maryland. Great player. In fact, before the game, Webster told me, Sam, you might catch this interesting, that they think Randy White's the finest defensive player on the Dallas Cowboy team.
It's a great compliment, isn't it? He's not a bad one, 54, I'll tell you. 2nd down at 15. Well, what did we hear? Steelers again, illegal procedure. They're having all sorts of problems. Randy Hughes, number 42, and Mark Washington, 46, is coming to the Cowboys lineup. Let's see what happens. They set. Now look at Mullins. Come on, gang, get it together. This is not the Meadowlands, I'll tell you.
Sometimes what happens, the quarterback will call a play, and the signal will be on the first sound. And that offensive line wants to anticipate, and they're trying to get that little jump. They'll be moving before the sound, and in that case, both of them misjudged it and made the jump.
Stallworth and Swan are wide to the left. Thornton and Delaplane to the setback. 2nd down, 20. Steelers unofficially have been penalized 5 times in the half. Delaplane gets a great block from Thornton, and he falls to about the 33-yard line. But I believe it was Sidney Thornton leading the interference. Charlie Waters makes the stop, but a great gain by Delaplane.
Another great block was by Jerry Mullins, Sam. He just pulled out there, and I'll tell you, I think he's one of the finest open field blockers in the league right now, and he rivals Bruce Van Dyke, who was one of the best I ever saw.
Let's pause 5 seconds for station identification.
This is 11 Alive, WIC TV Pittsburgh.
3rd down 10. 7:09 to play, second quarter. Steelers lead the Cowboys 6-3. A far cry from last year's 30-0 loss. The flag is down, and so is Bradshaw. Way back at the 20-yard line. And the flag came from behind Bradshaw, so you have to assume it was offensive holding.
Well, the Cowboys had the blitz on. They brought their cornerback, Aaron Kyle, which is a rather unusual blitz. And it obviously caught the Steelers off guard, and it got a big sack on it. Of course, they refused the penalty. And Craig Colquitt will get another chance here.
I believe Larry Brown was the culprit, number 79. But he was really at the mercy of the Cowboys' rush there. That's Butch Johnson, number 86, in the neighborhood of his own 40-yard line.
Steelers fans may recall that Butch Johnson was the fellow that made that unbelievable, fully stretched out catch in the Super Bowl last year. And he did it, I just found out, Sam, with a broken thumb.
They got a wealth of talent here in Dallas. Colquitt. Oh, there's a magnificent punt by Colquitt. That had a 5-second hang time and drove Johnson back to his 30. And Colquitt has got to be ecstatic. His finest punt in the pros, and he knows it.
And there we see number 30 again, Larry Anderson streaking down there. Man, this guy is making some big plays tonight. Granted, Colquitt just had probably the finest kick of his professional career, but Larry Anderson was a big part of that play.
50 yards on the punt by Craig Colquitt, -5 on the return by Johnson. The Steelers net 55 yards. There's a timeout on the field. Pittsburgh 6 and Dallas 3.
There are a lot of Oldsmobiles in this showroom. They expect me to clean all of these? The Grand Olds gang is having a year-end clearance sale. Shouldn't have any trouble clearing away these beauties. Ah, the Cutlass Supreme. Now that's really class. Especially at this price. Hey, this really is fantastic.
You can clean up too during the GOG's year-end closeout sale. It's for real.
When you can't find it anywhere else, you'll find it at Thrift Drug. Thrift carries the area's most complete selection of health and beauty products and prices them right. Shop the Cosmetic Center at your nearby Thrift Drug for Revlon Flex Balsam Shampoo and Conditioner. Revlon's rich, lathering shampoo and smooth conditioner are the perfect combination for more manageable hair. Find great buys throughout the store and dependable prescription service every time at Thrift Drug. They are experts.
Cowboys have gone to Danny White here in this series. What is young Craig Colquitt going through now, Andy?
Well, he was just working on his timing with Roy Girella there, the holder. He's got to be awfully happy about that last punch, Sam. He really boomed it out there, and he kind of showed what the real promise the Steelers think he has.
Get a look at that Tennessee smile. First down, Cowboys. We're live. Quick pitch to a Lois Blackwell. Look at him break tackles. Across the 30 to about the 32, and Tom Beasley is unhappy. He had a head-on shot at Blackwell, and he lost it.
Jack Ham, in that instance, had a hold of Rayfield Wright. We see him there, number 70 in the Cowboy huddle. And Rayfield is a load at about 6'7", 275. He's coming off knee surgery, and Jack had him under great control, but he took the inside, thinking the runner was going to cut inside. The runner cut outside. There was one. You can't wait forever. It was a judgment.
Danny White has 2 new backs. You saw Blackwell 24. The other one is Todd Christensen 27. That's him there, down at the 27-yard line. Robin Cole got his shoe, but he also got enough of Christensen's legs to knock him off his pins. Todd Christensen, you talk about a load. Here's a young man who was tried at tight end. He was the second-round draft choice of the Cowboys out of Brigham Young this year at 6'3", 230, and he's running from the fullback slot. Both teams have made some changes. The Steelers with that front four have done 67, Banaszak 76, Beasley 65, Freddie Anderson 69. And Danny White is the quarterback. Third down, the Cowboys into the shotgun. They've got 7 yards for the first down, and a flag is down. And I think it's against the Cowboys. It may have been Burton Lawless, 66.
Our viewers might try to anticipate something, Sam. One of the things the Steelers want to do tonight is blitz the shotgun. So at some point in this game, they're going to tell the defense, all right, you have an automatic call. When they move to a shotgun formation, or they line up into it or eventually shift to it, we will go automatic blitz. Now, they are going to run a blitz where the Cowboys do not have enough men to pick it up. So I think we're going to get a sack.
Let's look for it. Burton Lawless indeed was the man responsible for that legal procedure call against the Cowboys. Third down and 12. 3 receivers set off to the right. White. Intercepted by... Oh! What had it? He had it for what seemed an eternity.
Oh, Mel has got to be upset with himself, but he made a big play, broke on the ball. Okay, White throwing the ball, thinks he's found a man open, but you can see 47, Mel Blount breaking in front. He just can't get a handle on it. I think he's so fast, he just ran away from it. He's got to be a little upset with himself. He'd love to have that one.
So the Cowboys will have to kick it away here on 4th down. And there you see Danny White. Kicking to Randy Rudershan in single safety. Back at his 35. Avoids 1 tackle. He's upended at the 39-yard line. Rudershan's got some sure hands, and that's the important thing. A 42-yard kick and a 3-yard return. Aaron Kyle is the man who upended Randy Rudershan. The Steelers have it first down at their own 39.
You know, incidentally, Sam, I'd like to congratulate you for being selected this year by NBC to do play-by-play, and hey, partner, I think you're going to do a great job, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Andrew. I deeply and sincerely appreciate it. It's a great opportunity. You know what it was like doing it last year, and I'm looking forward to doing some games. Steelers running from their own 39-yard line. Bradshaw has gone all the way at quarterback. Here's Delaplane. Dancing to about the 42-yard line. Stopped there by Guy Brown, number 59. Boy, Andy, when you talked about this young man's speed early in the game, you were prophetic, because I don't remember ever having seen Lynn Swann run down from behind, but Brown ran him down at the 1-yard line.
He did run him down. You know, Lynn had to hesitate and then pick up speed. You know, he'd slowed down and did a change of pace and made a few cuts. So it was probably not a fair test. I'm not saying he could beat Lynn Swann in a sprint, but the situation was awfully impressive.
Gain of 3 by Delaplane, 2nd down 7. And Bradshaw. Straight back to pass. Has a man, Cunningham, over the middle, but he threw it in behind him. Charlie Waters had the coverage on Benny Cunningham, but had Bradshaw been on the money, the pass would have been completed.
Sam, you'll be mad at me if I disagree with you on that.
You don't think, huh? I said
well,
Charlie Waters, it's Harris.
The reason I said that is Bob Brunig, number 53, was really right in the throwing lane, and Terry almost had to throw that ball behind Cunningham, because had he led Cunningham properly, I think Brunig might have been in a position to make that interception.
Well, I will yield to your expertise for having played this game for umpteen years, Mr. Russell. But we'll never know for sure, will we?
No, yeah.
3rd down. 1st down. Great pass by Bradshaw. Right on the money to Lynn Swann at the Cowboys' 48-yard line. So the Steelers keep their drive alive, and they convert on 3rd down. Let's look at it again.
You don't think these Cowboys respect Lynn Swann? We see him dropping back. Oh, in isolation on Harvey Martin against John Kolb, 79 going against 50. Look at this pressure he's putting on. Kolb drops back, absorbs him. Look at him using his hands. Harvey Martin trying to drive over him. I'll tell you, they're battling in there.
3
head
minutes.
to head the entire game.
Excuse me, Andy. 3:50 to go here in the half. The Steelers trying to put something on the board here again before halftime. Delaplane cutting it outside at the 45, and he runs right into Aaron Kyle, who came up to shut the run off. Brunig also, and Brunig is a very, very impressive middle linebacker.
All right, number 12, Bradshaw handing off to Delaplane. Delaplane has to cut outside because D.D. Lewis, number 50, was in good position. Brunig pursuing down the line where he runs into Aaron Kyle, number 25, and the Cowboys in that instance did a good job of keeping their containment, not getting nose trouble, getting penetrating to the inside.
Second down, 7. Not a quick count. Bradshaw, the pressure from Martin. He avoids it, throws the home run ball, and he overthrew Swan by 10 yards, but there is a flag down, and we'll just have to wait and see what this one is all about. There was some outside pressure on Bradshaw. The Steelers do not seem happy about it, and I believe they've been called for holding here again.
Well, Harvey Martin came wide to the outside, and it looked as though he had John Kolb, and it appeared to me that John just pushed him, trying to keep him from nailing Bradshaw in the back. It may have been that Kolb made a decision. I've got to protect my quarterback.
Bradshaw.
The man has beat me. I've got to keep him from hurting our quarterback.
5 out of 9 in the passing department, 85 yards, and the Cowboys elect to take the 10-yard penalty, and so it stepped off back to the 45 of Pittsburgh. It'll be second down and 18. Let's listen. You heard it, 55, illegal use of hands. That's John Kolb, and he has his hands full with Harvey Martin, 79. But I'll tell you, Kolb's got enough strength and enough quickness to battle anybody to a draw, even the best of them like Martin. Bradshaw now rolling out. He's got Jethro Pugh in pursuit. Gets a block, turns it upfield, and goes down at the 46-yard line. Well, Bradshaw made his mind to run when he saw a little bit of daylight. As he rolled out to the right and ran out of some room, and he cut it upfield, he was brought down by 59 Guy Brown and 54 Randy White.
This is what's called a designed scramble. The Steelers, that wasn't an unintentional scramble. Number 54, Randy White, pursuing Terry, running very strong. Picks up some big yardage for us, and it's 3rd and 8.
So he's cut the deficit here better than in half. 2nd and 18. Now it's 3rd down and 8. Stallworth and Swan come wide to the left. We still have not seen Bell and Randy Rudershan at wide receiver. Here's a draw. Nothing doing there. Boy, Kyle came all the way over from the corner to make the stop. Somebody has to stay home on a play like that, but it usually is not the quarterback, is it, Andy?
No, Kyle was again coming on the blitz. He'd come in from his quarterback position to blitz again, the one that he had so much effectiveness with, and he was there to make the play.
Well, we've got it down to the 2-minute warning, so we'll be back with the final 2 minutes of the first half with the Steelers leading the Cowboys 6-3.
And on my right, there's the governor's mansion, and 2 blocks back, there's a Big Mac.
Something about a Big Mac that keeps you coming back to that Big Mac. Is it the 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce and cheese, or the pickles and onions on the bun? Could it be those sesame seeds?
And on my right, there's a Big Mac.
At McDonald's, we do it all for you.
There's this terrific girl I know, and I don't want us to lose interest, so I got us a money manager. It's the Money Manager Savings Account from Pittsburgh National Bank. With it, we get day in, day out interest on everything we save, right where we do our other banking. Someday she'll thank me. You sleepy?
Day in, day out interest at Pittsburgh National Bank.
How's Daddy's best girl?
Well, we thought we were going to have a wild and woolly scoring spree here at Texas Stadium, but they've settled down. Cowboys 160 in their total yardage, 116 through the air, 44 on the ground. The Steelers 157, 85 passing, 62 rushing, a little better balance. And of course, Pittsburgh leads at 6-3. They probably lead in time of possession also. But this is far from a wild scoring contest, a 6-3 ball game. Colquitt now brimming with confidence after a 50-yarder his last time out. Will boot it from his own 45. Almost blocked. Aiming for the out of bounds, and it's somewhere in the neighborhood of the 20, I believe. Not a great kick, but not a bad one. The 18-yard line, he got it inside the 20. So the Cowboys now will go into their 2-minute drills, trailing 6-3, and they are 82 yards away from a touchdown.
Cowboys have one of the most effective punt blocking techniques of any team we've seen. They block a lot of punts during the year. They work out it in practice, and that time they came awfully close, and Colquitt had to hurry, and we were fortunate to get it off.
Danny White has played the last 8 or 9 minutes of this quarter. He is still in there at quarterback for the Cowboys. They'll set their running backs when they come out of it. Golden Richards is one wide receiver. Tony Hill is the other. Richards wears 83, Hill number 80.
Sam, we got a shotgun. We might see that blitz in this situation.
We've also got Preston Pearson, number 26, in there. Here's White throwing it into the screen to Pearson. At the 20, brought down at about the 22-yard line as Robin Cole came up to knock him down. And the Cowboys without a huddle. Trying to line it up again. You see the clock in the corner of your screen, 1:38, and continues to move.
John Banaszak put great pressure on the quarterback at that time and didn't allow time for the screen to set up.
Here's White. Out to Christensen. He gets out of bounds at the line of scrimmage, about the 22-yard line. And the cover there by Ron Johnson. So the Cowboys succeed in stopping the clock. They use it down. Third down at about 7 for Dallas. And the Steelers make a couple of defensive adjustments here, thinking, I would imagine, Andy, that if they can shut the Cowboys off here, they can get the ball back and go into their 2-minute drills.
Well, that's right. They've got to be thinking right now, take the ball away. Third down is the big down. Make them punt, and let's get some more points.
Pearson and Christensen are the setbacks. Now Preston goes in a slot right.
Blitz, blitz. Watch the blitz right here. Jack Ham up the middle.
I'm looking. They picked that one up. White throws it out to Pearson. Juggles in and knocked out of bounds, but he got the first down. Mr. Clutch Preston Pearson still doing it here in Dallas.
Preston is a great receiver. Last year he caught 47 passes. The Steeler linebackers, we used to work every day against Preston. The blitz was not effective, and Lambert, we see him 58 coming awfully late. I don't know why he was delayed so much. Have to take a look at that better. And Wagner running Pearson out of bounds. Not running him, I'm knocking him out.
1:16 to go. The clock stopped again. The Cowboys have succeeded in possessing the football here at their own 37-yard line. And it's the shotgun again. Steelers with 5 defensive backs, using only Ham and Lambert. Tony Hill out of bounds inside the 40, run out by Donnie Shell.
Now we've got a holding penalty on Dallas, so they're going to have to take that one back.
Well, that'll get them buzzing here at Texas Stadium, I can assure you.
I think they caught old Rayfield Wright grabbing one of our guys.
24-yard completion for naught. They bring it back, and they'll step off 10 yards against Dallas. We've been informed that Benny Barnes, the fine cornerback for the Cowboys, has a strained right foot, and he may be through for the evening.
Holding, number 70. You know, Sam, they always talk about the great organization of the Dallas Cowboys and how well they draft. And I noticed they have about 4 or 5 players from Stanford University, and they say they draft for intelligent players as well as talented players, and that's an obvious case in point.
Rayfield Wright was the man who was caught holding, number 70, the 12-year veteran out of Fort Valley State, wherever that is. White in the shotgun. First down, 20. Gives to Christensen. 35, and he crawls to about the 37-yard line. You know, some of the things they do, really, Andy, are beyond my comprehension. And I don't profess to be any great sophisticated connoisseur of professional football, but they go to the shotgun, they bring a man off the wing back to a back formation and give him the ball. It's incredible. Here's White again. Pressure this time. Throws it to Christensen. Johnson bounced off him. And that's what Andy was talking about. Instead of just wrapping his arms around the man and tackling him, he tried to dive at his legs.
Sam, what Ron Johnson has to understand is this isn't Eastern Michigan. I mean, you got to go up there and wrap the arms and make sure of the tackle. You don't go up there and knock people down in this league. These runners are too good for that. And I think, you know, he's a great player, and he'll learn that. He just learned a real lesson there.
Well, Gary Dunn showed some mobility, I can tell you, after putting some pressure on Staubach, on Danny White, rather. He came back to make the tackle, as you see Christensen
Okay, good pressure by Banaszak, beating Rayfield right inside badly. Beasley, 65, coming to the outside. White shows some maneuverability here, just getting this off. Now, reception, we'll see. You know, I think that he should not have hesitated there. And look at this. You don't knock good running backs down in this league. Now, I'll say one thing. He got right back up and tried to make that play again. And good mobility by Gary Dunn coming from the inside on pursuit. That's the kind of thing you have to have.
Danny White just leaving his mentor, Tom Landry. 36 seconds left here in the half. Cowboys trailing 6-3. Steelers, if you joined us late, have the only touchdown of the half. A 2-yard run by Rocky Blyer. Then after making 2 successful attempts at the extra point, each one nullified by a offside call against John Hicks, Jarrella missed his 3rd attempt from something like 30 yards. And the Steelers thus 6 points on the board. Jay Sherrill has a 25-yard field goal for the Cowboys, and that's all we've had. But it's been a great first half nonetheless. White in the shotgun. Over the middle, intercepted by Wagner. 45-50. 45, fumbles the ball. Scramble is on. Donnie Shell has it, I believe. 23 seconds to play in the half. And penalty flags are down back at the Dallas 31-yard line.
Well, I think we've got a holding penalty on Dallas, which will decline that, but Mike Wagner played that beautifully. He dropped back deep. He was playing it safe. No one was going to get behind him on that play. Danny White did not see him. You can see Danny here dropping back. Good pressure by Dwight White, 78, coming from the outside. And Mike makes a super interception. Notice how he jumps right back up. A pro player is not down just because his knees touch the ground. He can get back up and run. And he coughs the ball up. He's not going to be happy about that, but Donnie Shell gets it for us.
Back live, Bradshaw scrambling for his life. Throws the home run to Stallworth. And he got it! Brilliant catch by Boyle. Stallworth, fabulous.
I tell you, that's the kind of thing that John Stallworth does over and over again, and we've got a holding penalty, I think. No, what do we got? No? Offside by Pittsburgh. I can't stand it.
He took it away from Aaron Kyle, and I believe Charlie Waters, in as pretty a catch as you'll ever want to see, and it's all for naught.
I don't care. It was a great play. Here's Bradshaw, fortunate just to evade the tackle by Harvey Martin. Great maneuverability by Bradshaw, and wings this ball 58 yards in the air when he was on the move, off balance, running to his left. And a fabulous catch by John Stallworth. He consistently makes those tough catches.
It was Cliff Harris who was with Kyle. Did you see the look on Charlie Waters? Could not believe it. 14 seconds to go. Steelers now back at their 49 after the penalty. Bradshaw stepping up in the pocket. Almost intercepted by D.D. Lewis, number 50, the strong side linebacker, 10-year veteran out of Mississippi State, but he couldn't hang on.
D.D. Lewis is probably one of the most underrated linebackers, in my opinion, in the National Football League. He has been consistently one of the finest backers in football for Dallas over the last 5 or 6 years, ever since he took Chuck Howley's place, who, of course, also is one of the best that I've seen.
Well, if there's a linebacker who had some shoes to fill in pro football, it had to be Brunig, stepping into Leroy Jordan's place, I think, Andy.
That's right. You know, of course, Leroy had a great career, and Brunig has done very well. The coaches are awfully high on him.
Very impressive, number 53. Bradshaw, play action. This will be the last play of the half. In fact, the clock is down to 2 seconds. Bradshaw, small. It could be mistaken for a baseball score, I guess. Significant, I think, is the fact that the Steelers have been penalized 8 times in the first half for 50 yards. The Cowboys but 3 for 25. And the Cowboys have outgained the Steelers in total yardage, 191 to 143. Also significant, Andy Russell, is the fact that in yards returned by the Dallas Cowboys, -4, which means the special teams of the Steelers have done a job tonight. People like Anderson and Mosier and Terry have really done a job, and you talked about that earlier in the game as being, of course, 1/3 of your entire football squad.
I think it's probably one of the most underrated aspects of football. It takes a real fine athlete to go down there. It's a dangerous job. In many cases, it's a thankless job. The pros joke about it. They really don't want to be on the special teams. But the good ones all have done it at one time or another. And I'll tell you, tonight, Larry Anderson has been particularly impressive, and he's the key man in that minus 4-yard stat. And the Steelers last year were not at all satisfied with their special teams. They felt that it hurt them. It hurt them in some big games. For example, the Denver game late in the year, which they needed to win. Their special teams let them down. And this year, it appears tonight that they're making some real progress in improving those teams.
I talked earlier in the first half about the Dwight White-John Banaszak competition for starting defensive end, and we haven't had a chance to get back to it. What about it, Andy?
Well, I'll tell you, John Banaszak is playing superbly tonight, but he's playing well, not only behind Dwight, but also on the left side. He was going against Rayfield Wright, who was a perennial All-Pro tackle, and Rayfield just couldn't handle him. And that was at the left side. So I think that John Banaszak is a kind of a player who's going to play. He's just so good, he's got to see some action.
I think a little-known story about Dwight White is not only the fact that he attended the same school as Harvey Martin, who is now the premier pass rusher in pro football and has been the past couple of years, but I think if the truth were known, Dwight White has spent many off seasons here in the Dallas area helping to develop the skills of Harvey Martin. I know for a fact that Joe Green and Dwight White have contributed immensely to the pass rushing skills of Mr. Martin, Andy.
He really has. They work together, and interesting, Dwight practices with the Cowboys in the off season. In fact, Sam, you might find this interesting. At one time, he had a foot race with Roger Staubach and beat him in the 40-yard dash, and Rogers never lived it down.
Okay, let's go to the second half. Jarrella kicking to the Cowboys. A low squib kick, fielded by Thurman at about the 1-yard line. To the 10, 15, 20, and down there under a flag at about the 22-yard line. Dennis Thurman, number 15, the rookie from Southern Cal. And a flag is down, as I mentioned.
Nice play by Rick Mosier, number 39 of the Steelers, who came down, played off a block very nicely, didn't sell himself out 1-for-1, and made the tackle.
Well, a holding penalty here being assessed against the Cowboys on the kick return. And so they will be in a hole, to speak, as we start the second half play. 6-3 Pittsburgh. They will start from their own 12-yard line.
I might point something out here, Sam. The Steelers youngsters on the defensive club are having trouble determining where the strength is. See, for a zone defense, you must rotate to or against the strength. Well, the Cowboys have played 3 wide receivers, so technically there is no strength. It's very confusing not only to the youngsters, but sometimes to the veterans.
Roger Staubach is back at quarterback. He's got Dorsett and Newhouse as his running backs. Tony at the top of the eye. Now he sends Pearson in motion. The quick pitch to Dorsett. Look at Ham jam that play up and down for a yard. Lost goes Dorsett in the grasp of Donnie Shell, and Tony Dungy, who came up, but Ham made it all possible.
See, the key to that play is that Jack Ham was not fooled by the fake up the middle to Newhouse. He ignored that and made the good penetration upfield. They worked on that all week. They felt that the key to stopping Dorsett's wide plays, you can see Jack Ham 59 there just routinely having made another great play. But he got the good penetration. He did not allow Rayfield Wright, number 70, to hook him, and he was the man who made the play.
Penalty against the Cowboys declined by the Steelers. 2nd down and 10. I guess they were offsetting penalties, so it'll be 1st and 10. One against either side. So we'll do it again, but it certainly doesn't wash out a great defensive play by Ham and the Steelers. Golden Richards, 83, is one of the wide receivers. Newhouse and Dorsett in the backfield. Play action. Dorsett. Tackled by Mel Blunt at about the 17-yard line.
Some of our viewers must wonder why the Dallas Cowboys continually jump around from one formation to the other. What they're trying to do is to force the Pittsburgh Steelers into playing a defense that they can predict. In other words, they They think that there's no way that the Steeler defense can match them move for move, always playing the best defense against the tendency out of each formation. So it gets very complicated, and it's hard to play this team.
Second down 5. We're in the third quarter of a 6-3 Pittsburgh lead. Pearson briefly in motion. Look at that hole for Newhouse. Cutting back against the grain at the 25, but not before he got a first down. And we got to take a look at this and see why that happens. Of course, putting Pearson in motion gets a linebacker to move, Andy.
Okay, I think that in that instance, Robin Cole, that was what they call a G, and the guard pulled, kicking Robin out. Now, what Robin did wrong was he didn't close quick enough. He's got to anticipate those plays a little bit better and close down the line of scrimmage and force that play to go outside.
Tony Dungy playing for Mike Wagner now at the strong safety for the Steelers. And a timeout on the field with the Cowboys just breaking the huddle. They'll have a first down and 10 with 13:29 to go here in the third quarter. There's a timeout on the field. We'll be back to Texas Stadium in just a moment. We were talking about Robin Cole. He's got 3 or 4 weeks here to try to impress the coaches and take Lauren Taves' job. Can he do it?
I don't think he's going to take Lauren Taves' job because Lauren has been playing just superbly this entire preseason. Now he's out with a badly injured ankle. But what Robin Cole needs is a little bit better anticipation. He needs the experience, Sam.
Staubach asks Pearson just before he goes out of bounds inside of Wentford Gaines at about the 37-yard line. Wentford Gaines seeing some action at left cornerback now, number 36. And Pearson took him right to the sidelines.
All right, we see him just perfect timing, catching the ball and stepping out of bounds. Pearson has that knack. He and Staubach have the timing. You know, the ball is thrown before Pearson makes his break. Very difficult for Wentford Gaines to play that tight enough.
So the Cowboys have a first down at their own 37, trailing 6-3 in the football game. Interesting to see whether Bradshaw comes back out here for the second half and plays both the third and fourth quarter. I think the original plan of Chuck Noll was to get him 3/4 action somehow. Newhouse for maybe a yard in the grasp of L.C. Greenwood, and Gaines came up to shut off the run very nicely. The rap on Wentford, I think, has been, Andy, that he doesn't play the run particularly well, not in a supportive role, but he plays the pass very well.
Well, I think if you had to pick one or the other, you're looking at Jack Ham, and that's the very reason he doesn't have to play the run very well, because Jack plays it so superbly. But, you know, you've got to take away the deep bombs. What hurt the Steelers last year was they gave up too many touchdown passes. Nobody pushed them around.
Number 41, Nat Terry, comes into the Steelers secondary and Robin Cole out. So it's 5 defensive backs now. And a second down and 8. Anticipating the Staubach pass, and they got it. Right through the hands of Drew Pearson.
You know, the Steeler defense looks confused right now. Dallas is throwing so many formations at them that I think they're getting confused on their checks. And you know, even in pro football, you can run into a situation where no one can designate the strength. There's too much noise to hear what the middle linebacker is saying. And I think in that instance, you had a situation where half the defensive backfield was rotating to one side, and the other half was rotating to the other side. You can't do that.
Obvious passing situation, 3rd down and 8. Preston Pearson in, 5 defensive backs for the Steelers. Blunt is out here one-on-one on Drew Pearson. That's just out of your view, but they may come into view. Staubach at the sidelines, too tall for Golden Richards. Terry was a wee bit late getting there, but the pass was overthrown, and Richards went down under a Dwight White hit before it was all over. So the Cowboys will have to kick it away, and the Steelers will have their first offensive series of the second half, leading 6-3. Irrevocable, I think, is what they call them, or irrevocable. Danny White at about his 25, kicking to Randy Rudershan. Good kick by White, high at his 25. He's got some blocking, too. Rudershan runs into a blocker, goes down at about the 30. So Randy Rudershan, although his longest return of the night has been but 10 yards, has shown some great hands. 35 yards on the punt by White. A 4-yard return. Will be back here to Texas Stadium in just a moment. Steelers to put it in play with Bradshaw running the show. Thornton 38, Franco Harris 32 are the setbacks, and Harris gets the call. about it. Number 59, Guy Brown. Boy, he is some linebacker, isn't he?
Well, they think he's going to be a very adequate backup man for Henderson, who's out with a pulled muscle tonight.
That's it. 9,500, as ridiculous as it seems for a linebacker. Stallworth goes wide to the left and Swan to the right. So the Steelers with a power running attack now. Thornton 38 and Harris 32. Sidney to about the 34-yard line, and that's about it. Harvey Martin 70, or Jethro Hewitt is 75. And Mullins having some difficulty moving that Dallas front four out of there. They are not only quick, but they are huge. Randy White 250 at 6'4". Jethro Pugh 6'6", 260. Too Tall is 6'9", 270. Harvey Martin 6'5 and a half, 250.
The Cowboys are playing with 6 defensive backs, which is an unusual defense to say the least.
Steeler running game has not exactly been what you would call explosive tonight. Bradshaw really got whacked. He underthrew his man, but he really got whacked by Randy White.
No, it hasn't, and it looks as though they've come out here the second half with the idea we've got to establish this running game. They probably went in at halftime and talked about it. They haven't done it all night, and they want to get it going. They passed effectively, however, in the first half.
They did indeed. Colquitt under a heavy rush gets away a high spiral. Johnson, the fair catch back at his 14-yard line. And that will be another 50-yard kick for Craig Colquitt.
Very nice. He had a lot of pressure on him, and he still got it off. And I think what was impressive at that time is he took his time, even with the pressure, didn't look up. The quarterback can't look up. It's blocked. That's number 50, D.D. Lewis, coming in there, almost making the block. But he can't look up. He's got to maintain his concentration and drop that ball properly.
So the Steeler faith in their number 3 draft choice has been well-founded tonight, because Colquitt has had 2 of 50 yards. Hang time of something in excess of 4.7 or 4.8. And one, it resulted in a -4 return. This one had no return. Cowboys running the ball now from their own 14. And they send Pearson in motion, give to the up back. Newhouse, nothing there. Boy, he ran right into the arms of Freddie Anderson, 69, and Gary Dunn also there, 67. These 4 young men are really the future front 4 of the Steelers, and it's going to be difficult to cut one if they have to cut one at all, Andy. It all starts next weekend. And the Steelers at Buffalo. The Colts, by the way, provide the initial opposition for the Cowboys. That should be a great first game. Play action. Staubach. Sideline for Tony Hill. Double coverage from Wagner and Ham. And there was no way he was going to complete that one. Into the shotgun, 3rd down and 8. 5 defensive backs for the Steelers. Nat Terry is the 5th.
That's a blitz here.
And they're coming with it. Lambert and Ham, they're all coming. Staubach has it batted in the air. Dungy, touchdown Steelers!
All right, they did not have enough people to pick up that blitz. It's one of the problems with the shotgun. There just aren't physically enough people. And the Steelers had seen this weakness, felt they could penetrate, and they got a lot of pressure there. We see everybody coming. Dunn avoiding the block of Tony Dorsett, and the ball is staggered loose. And Tony Dungy makes his, 3rd interception of the preseason, I think.
Yes, he certainly has, and he is an opportunist if ever I've seen one, Andy. Not only a bright football player and one the Steelers coaching staff absolutely loves, he is around the football and a fabulous opportunist. 15 yards on the interception return, and the Steelers now with a chance to take a 13-3 lead.
Let's see if we can stay on side.
Flag is down.
I don't believe this. I think
Do you believe it?
I think really they're trying to give Roy a little work. They figure, he hasn't had much opportunity this year to kick, and look how disgusted he looks.
Well, that was mild disgusted.
Well, that's about as emotional as...
Well, the reason we're making a big deal out of this, look at Noel still join, is that Jarrella had 2 successful conversions in the first quarter, nullified by 2 offside calls against John Hicks.
Number 65.
65, did he say? If so, that would be Beasley. 55 would be John Cope. And I believe it's the latter. From the 15-yard line. No flags. The kick is perfect. So the Pittsburgh Steelers have taken a 13-3 lead here over the Cowboys with 9:54 to go third quarter, Andy.
But it's going to be broadcast to Seattle.
How am I going to do a fair broadcast, unprejudiced broadcast in that one? Over the head of Thurman. He fields it at his 2-yard line. He's going nowhere. Down at the 10.
Now, Randy Rudershan, number 40, was down there, but I don't think he should have held up. It's easy to second guess up here. You're not going to try and trade one for one. He did keep his feet. He did force the man outside.
You may have seen him slap hands with a white jersey as it whisked by. Rudershan waited for Dorsett to come on the field just to shake hands with him. Two great teammates from the University of Pittsburgh. And that was touching, to say the least.
The Steeler defense, I think, is playing better in the second half here. They made some adjustments at halftime, Sam, and it looks so far, it looks like it's going to work.
So from their 10-yard line, it's a downhill, rather an uphill struggle for the Cowboys. It's downhill for the Steelers, hopefully. 9:44 to go, third quarter. Play action. He sets up the screen to Dorsett. 15, almost to the 20-yard line. Blunt, Wagner converging, and in the grasp of middle linebacker Jack Lambert at the bottom, but not before he got very close to a Dallas first down. So it's second down, 1. It's almost like a free down to Staubach. He could go for everything here if he wanted. Play action. He is, isn't he? Look at that. Tony Hill. Blunt, right through his arm. Mel Blunt was in a perfect position to receive the football, and it went right through his arms for the second time tonight.
Look at him. He's got to be awfully disgusted. He made the great play. He anticipated the bomb on second and short. Was deep and perfect, as you say, Sam, position. And he just couldn't get the handle on it. I'll tell you, it is a lot harder than it looks from up here.
Well, I'm sure it is. I heard Cosell the other night read the great attributes of some other linebackers, calling them perhaps the finest in the game, but there's none better than Mel Blunt. When you combine the ability to play the run, that's a first down for Dallas. Sorry to get off the track here, but when you combine the ability to play the run with the ability to play the pass and the support talent of Mel Blunt, as well as the strength, and there just isn't a better all-around cornerback. It just can't be. So the Cowboys keep their drive alive. First down at 10 at their own 23-yard line, leading 13-3 over the Super Bowl champion Cowboys. Here's Newhouse. Still on his feet to about the 23 or 24-yard line. Dungy being helped off the pile. Lambert now starting to... Lambert was almost no factor in the first half, Andy, but he's starting to play a bigger role here in the second half.
Best middle backer in the game today.
Here's Staubach. Second down and 9. He's got Pearson for the sidelines. He got him. No, he didn't get them both down.
They can catch all those they want.
Well, that call was made with conviction, wasn't it? Jay Saldy walking the sidelines with the official. Pearson really has no way of knowing. The receiver's probably the worst guy in the house to know whether he got both feet down. He's concentrating on a football, trying to get 2 feet in. It was close,
here's an isolation on Drew Pearson, number 88. We can see Wentford Gaines dropping back, getting his depth. The ball is dropped over Wentford's head, and it's very fortunate that this is not a completed pass.
That's a great call. That wasn't even close. So it's third down and 9. The 5th defensive back is in. Preston Pearson also in the offensive scheme for the Cowboys. Staubach in the shotgun. Here's the blitz again. Lambert got there a split second late, and it's incomplete. Lambert had Staubach spun around and on his back. They're just getting up. He got there a split second late, but he really came.
Steelers are blitzing the shotgun formation. That was not the same blitz they had used effectively earlier. They had their 5 defensive backs in, which is a defense they had not used until tonight, Sam. They'd gone with the 4 linebacker defense, which they call a 33. This is their prevent defense with 5 defensive backs. They're bringing in Tony Dungy, and they think he's going to do a great job for them.
Rudershan back at his own 32 as you look at Danny White. He'll kick it from inside his 15 by the time he gets his foot into it. Fourth punt of the night for Danny, averaging about 39 a kick. High snap in the center, got it away. Good spiral. Rudershan had to avoid the first man down. He fumbled the ball, but the Steelers recover. Mosier was right there to recover the ball. And that may have not been a very prudent decision by Rudershan not to call for the fair catch. He had a man in his lap when he called it. 44 yards on the kick.
Well, I admire him not calling the fair catch, but he's got to catch the ball before he starts trying to advance it. And you know, there are a lot of defensive backs. There we see White getting the punt off. It was almost blocked, and Kurt Wisdom did a great job of avoiding it. Here we see Rudershan catching the ball, or trying to catch the ball, and I think he just took his eyes off it for a minute.
Let's break away, Andy. There's a timeout on the field. We'll be back to Texas Stadium in just a moment.
One of the few things labor and management agree on is Iron City beer. And now, Iron City, I hear you're coming out with a light beer. Well, Iron City, if that new light isn't the greatest, you'll answer to the rank and file.
New Iron City Light. A light beer with a taste you'll like for a change.
Iron City, that light better be terrific, or I can't be responsible for the action of the membership.
Keep coming back. There's something about a Big Mac that keeps you coming back. Keeps you coming back to that Big Mac. Isn't the truth? All beef patty, special sauce, lettuce and cheese, could be those sesame seeds. At McDonald's, I know about the sesame seeds. We do it all for you. Coming back to a Big Mac. We do it all.
Beginning Monday, August 28th, buy a Big Mac and get a Paper-Mate pen back free.
After beating the Steelers in their preseason game last Saturday night, the New York Giants had their bubble burst at the hands of the San Diego Chargers tonight. 17-6 the final there. The Chargers over the Giants. T. Bell has come into the game. At wide receiver, he is slotted inside of Lynn Swan as Bradshaw goes back to back. Knocked up in the air by Too Tall Jones.
Well, there's not much you can do in a situation like that. Too Tall is just so big. 6'9" with that great quickness. He didn't run around any blocks. You'll see him here going on the inside. Bradshaw has a lot of time. Mike Webster, number 52, coming out and really giving him adequate protection. But he just gets those big hands up in the air, and it's a block pass.
Cowboys have a new safety. It's Randy Hughes, number 42. Charlie Waters is out. They also have a new middle linebacker, Bruce Huther. Second year from New Hampshire, number 57. Flags are down. That should be code 55. John's done that a couple of times tonight. That's kind of out of character, although I guess if I had Harvey Martin peering eyeball to eyeball with me, I might have a tendency to shake and move a little bit.
I've got a sign over in the corner of the stadium that says, Martinize Bradshaw.
It was Penny. Excuse me, John Cove. It was Ray Penny, 74. So Bradshaw brings him out, second down, 15. 25-yard line. Pittsburgh in their own territory, leading 13-3. And the sweep. Thornton caught from behind by Too Tall Jones, 72. Well, he's beating somebody to death over there.
Well, he's got that unique combination of speed and power that is awfully hard to combine, and he can beat you with quickness on one instance and beat you with power on the next.
Steelers have some new people in their offensive line, it should be pointed out. They've got Ray Penny, 74, and Brown playing the tackles. Corson, 77. John Hicks, 61, the guards. Webster is still the center. It might be that Too Tall is, well, he was working Brown over for a while. Here's the screen to Sidney. Blocked by Webster from behind. Might very well have been a clip, but it wasn't called. And Sidney is knocked out of bounds on the far side of the field by Dennis Thurman, the rookie from Southern Cal. And he'll come up about 5 yards shy of the first down.
That was one of the few effective screens that the Steelers have executed this entire preseason. It's not been a play that's worked for them very well. And it should be a good play against the zone, because on the zone, the linebackers are dropping deep, the corners are dropping deep, trying to prevent you from getting the ball downfield. I think they should use that play more often, Sam.
Here's Colquitt, his 6th punt of the night. He's got the average up to 39. This one isn't quite as good as the previous two. Johnson on the run at the 35. Great tackle down there by Randy Rudershan. Well, he got a hold of Johnson, and he held on for dear life and rolled him out of bounds at the 35. So a kick of 35 yards and a return of 5 by Johnson.
It was a nice tackle by Rudershan. He got down there and broke down and almost lost his containment, but showed to be an awfully good athlete to make that play in that circumstance.
And they cannot recall waivers on any of them for a 24-hour period. Then they can bring 2 back. Staubach. Oh, he works that sideline, doesn't he? Pearson again in front of Wentford Gaines. And Mumbo is just at the mercy of Staubach and Pearson on that one.
Mumbo Gaines is giving Drew Pearson all the room he can get. We came on a blitz here. You'll see 56. Robin Cole coming through, but he just can't, he was almost cut. And they just make it look easy, don't they, Sam?
They do. They've been working that thing for a ton of years, haven't they? So it's a Cowboy first down at the Steeler 49. Dallas trailing 13-3, and the Cowboys trying to get something going. Here's the quick pitch to Dorsett. Trying to get outside, out of the grasp of Ham, but nothing doing. Great pursuit by the Steeler defense. Lambert was there, Beasley was there, so was Mike Wagner, and Wentford Gaines, 36. They've got a 2nd down and 10. Staubach. Good protection. Pumps once, throws it. Almost intercepted. I don't know if he wanted to let it go, but he almost gave Tony Dungy his 2nd interception of the night. Who you want to come to you, Tony? Whom?
Look, he's disgusted.
Oh,
but that would have been a great catch had he made it.
He's got a finger injury there.
You'd be amazed how many of these players either have a sprained finger or a broken finger. It's almost the majority.
Well, the passing has deteriorated somewhat. Staubach is now 11 for 23, 158 yards. Bradshaw's also under the 500 mark. Well, we've got a whistle here. Gary Dunn trying to get off the field. This may be a timeout.
Well, they had to call timeout.
Yes, they did.
Kurt Winston came in and didn't tell which defensive lineman to get off the field. They were going with their 33-4 linebacker defense. And there was some confusion, so Jack Lambert called a timeout.
Well, Dr. Steele attending to Dungy along with trainer Ralph Berlin, and they're going to tape the finger, apparently. Matt Terry, number 41, the rookie out of Florida State, has replaced Dungy at the safety. Doc Steele's hat is his distinguishing characteristic, isn't it, Andy? 1-1. Both gentlemen have 2 Super Bowl victories to their credit. Noel is 2 for 2. Landry is 2 for 4. And I'm sure that both would love dearly to be the first ever to win 3 Super Bowls. There are 4 teams who have won it twice. Pittsburgh, Dallas, Green Bay, and Miami. And I'm sure any one of them would love the honor of being the only team to win it 3 times. And it could happen this year, Andy. Miami, although they lost Greasy for a half a season today, the announcement was made.
I think it's going to happen. I think Pittsburgh's going to do it.
Staubach scrambling. No, didn't make the first down. He's about a yard or 2 shy. Lambert got there, as did Beasley. Staubach went down in his patented style, but he went down about 2 yards short.
The Steelers have some awfully quick young defensive linemen who can actually chase down a quarterback, probably outrun him. And in that instance, Staubach saw Kurt Winston approaching and just decided that the best judgment was to hit the turf. Now, you hear the Steelers, or the fans applauding because the Cowboys are going to go for this on 4th and 1.
Well, Landry originally sent out his punting team, and then he took him back. Jay Soldi, the extra tight end. Listen to the crowd. Sneak by Staubach. He's got it. He went on a quick count. He went on no count at all, Andy.
That's right. In fact, he didn't even set his offensive lineman. They They went off the ball standing up. And I think it really did catch the Steeler defense off guard. Looking at Roger Staubach, number 12, he is a real tough, hard-nosed player who will play hurt, wants to play hurt, and I've got an awful lot of admiration. Now, we'll see, though, they did set, but they went on the quick count.
And he went behind not his veteran center, John Fitzgerald, but behind second-year man Jim Cooper, 61 out of Temple. So the Cowboys keep their drive alive. First fourth down gamble of the night. Tony Hill coming your way. Staubach over the middle. He's got Hill. Drop the ball. On the ground is Lambert. In 30-0 preseason embarrassment here at Texas Stadium before a national TV audience. And so far they got it. But we're a quarter away from being over. Greenwood coming up the middle. Staubach out of bounds to Pearson. Yes. They said he got both feet in. Also a penalty marker down, I believe, on the far side, or is there just an indicator there? I think we may have a holding call.
Well, that was Butch Johnson there on the sideline making a very nifty reception. He didn't see how he could keep his feet in bounds, but he did.
Illegal chuck is the call against Pittsburgh, so it wouldn't make any difference. The Cowboys get the first down, but let's see about Johnson's tap dancing ability.
A lot of pressure on Staubach in that instance. And it looked as though he did have his feet in bounds.
Steelers have gone back to their starting front four. Furness, Green, White, and Greenwood. First down, Staubach. Flag is down. Maybe delay a game. Illegal procedure against the Cowboys. It'll be 1st and 15. Steelers, speaking of penalties, had 8 of them in the first half, Andy. How long can you survive averaging 13 penalties a game?
You can't. I agree with you.
Screen to Dorsett. At the 30, cutting it back. 25 and down, and he was hit hard. May have been a fumble. Green is indicating the Steeler possession. Ham's got the ball, but I think the play was whistled dead. Dorsett really got creamed by Ham as Tony tried to cut back against the grain like only he can do. Second down and 8. Furness comes out. Replaced by Beasley. The blitz is on. Newhouse to the 25-20. 18-yard line. Dragged down from behind by Beasley. Cowboys may have another first down, although a penalty marker is down.
Well, I think they've called clipping against the Cowboys on Mike Wagner. Mike Wagner is very certain that Tony Dorsett clipped him. And we'll see it being marked off here very soon. Let's take a look at it. Number 12, Staubach dropping back. Some good pressure up the middle by Lambert. But Robert Newhouse is out in the open. Watch the pursuit here by Beasley. This is the kind of thing you got to have. That would have been a touchdown had the defensive lineman not pursued that aggressively.
I don't know for a fact that Newhouse would have been Robin Cole's responsibility, but it appeared that Cole was badly trapped out of the play, Andy.
Well, again, I think they're in a zone. I can't tell either. You know, you've got to see these game films before you know exactly. They got 12 pass defenses.
Oh, that is always the case. You're right.
That sounds like a cop-out, but we can't sit up here and really see exactly what they're doing.
So it was indeed against Dallas, nullifying that big game. Second down, 21. Staubach from the shotgun. Pump fake. He's got a man all alone. Pearson out of bounds, but no good. He was out of bounds, but he caught it.
Oh, was he open, though? He was wide open. There was no one within 15 yards of them.
Hope you folks in those two locations are also enjoying tonight's game. It's 13-3 Pittsburgh. We're under a minute 45 to go, third quarter. Perhaps the two finest teams in pro football battling out here in the preseason finale. Flag is down. Pass is completed to Tony Hill, who fumbles the ball. And the scramble is on, and Hill got it back. But a marker is down, as I mentioned. And it's first indication holding Dallas.
Well, you tend to give your quarterback longer to throw when you hold. And Jack Lambert really nailed the receiver and caused the ball to be fumbled. But we're taking it back. A big break for the Steelers.
Well, the Cowboys starting to make those mistakes that the Steelers made through the first 2.5 quarters of this game, and that's to lose key offensive plays because of penalties.
You know, I might point out, Sam, that the Steelers defense has been phenomenal.
A veteran out of Penn State. Green is out. Dirt Winston in. 4 linebackers. 3rd down and a mile. Staubach sets the screen to Preston Pearson. 35, 30, breaks it to the 25. Still on his feet. 10, 5, and out of bounds. And a flag is down. It may be a clipping call against Dallas. And if so, a 3rd successful play in this series will be called back, and that's exactly what it is.
Well, we've got a clipping against Dallas, but I'll tell you one thing. Preston Pearson was awfully impressive on that screen. That was a middle screen. They set it up beautifully, and Preston made a lot of folks miss. A few of them missed because they were clipped, but he impresses me. I know we had a lot of respect for him.
Andy, our viewers may see people like Steve Furness and Lambert, you know, bent over, just gasping for air, and with their helmets off. You better explain that heat situation again and how unbearable it is.
Oh, it's just absolutely unbearable. Oh, here we are, number 26, Preston Pearson. Watch him make some people miss here. I don't see there's the clip right there. And Preston makes some more folks miss. Mel Blunt, again, he was clipped. Mike Wagner playing off the blocker very well, preventing the touchdown.
3rd down and 20. We're back live. The Cowboys trying to convert here. They trail 13-3. Steelers have had good fortune here in the waning moments of the 3rd quarter. Staubach from the shotgun. Over the middle. Saldi at the 30, shy of the 1st down. And the Steelers made sure there. Dirt Winston and Jay Saldi. Now Lambert separates, and look who's the peacemaker.
Very unlikely peacemaker. You know, the Steelers in both of the last 2 3rd and long situations rushed only 3 men and still had good pressure on Staubach. And there just wasn't anybody open. The Steelers gave them that pass.
Sherrill will attempt a field goal with Waters holding at the 37-yard line. A kick of 47 yards for the rookie place kicker out of North Carolina State, Jay Sherrill. Placement, the kick is up. No good, wide to the left. And so the Steeler defense is held and is very grateful to get off the field, I can tell you. It's got to be somewhere in the 90s on the playing surface. The low tonight in Dallas was expected to be 81 degrees, so you can imagine what kind of sweltering sauna it has been for the players in this game. Steelers now at their own 29-yard line. Stallworth split wide to the left. Bradshaw gives it to Harris, trying to cut back. Brunig held on for a couple of yards, and Franco carried him. Gain of about 4 yards on the carry. T. Bell, number 83, and in 1 wide receiver spot. I would think he's got to get some work in a hurry, Andy. He's the 3rd wide receiver.
Well, he needs some work, and he wants it. I think T. Bell happens to be an awfully good prospect, and will do a good job backing up our 2 guys, Stallworth and Swan.
So the gun sounds, ending the 3rd quarter. We got a great game here. The score, the Steelers 13 and the Dallas Cowboys 3. Screen that took the ball down to the 2-yard line, Andy.
Well, the penalties kill you, and both teams, have, as you say, have been victimized by it, and they've got to avoid that kind of thing if they're going to be consistently successful.
However, in fairness, the Steelers have lost a touchdown. The pass to Stallworth that was nullified by a penalty. So they've both been victimized in this ball game. Sidney Thornton on the sweep. Brunig from over the top. Boy, he is an impressive middle linebacker, 53. Bob Brunig, 4th year out of Arizona State, 6'2", 225. And he's making the folks in Dallas forget all about Leroy Jordan.
Well, the Steelers, I'm sure, are going to be unhappy with their rushing attack. They feel they've lived on the run all these years, and we've got to establish it. Last week, Houston ran the ball for 285 yards against this very same Dallas defense. Obviously, Dallas's defense has made some changes.
T-Bell slotted. Stallworth wide to the left on a quick count. Penalty flag is down. Bradshaw avoids the rush to T-Bell, cutting across. Tripped up at the 45-yard line. Gets to the 47, which would be good enough for a first down. Had the penalty flag not been against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they got John Cole for illegal use of hands again. Harvey Martin just broke to the outside, and I think John had to give him an illegal shove. The official didn't miss it. As far, Sam, as far as I'm concerned, in a situation like that, I think John Cole should do everything he can to protect our quarterback. We've got a big season coming up here. We can't afford Bradshaw to be drilled in the middle of the back. Now, here we'll see it, number 79, beating John Cole to the outside. Now, he's got a good beat on Bradshaw. John just pushes him on by. And he's tackled by...
Gregory went right over the top.
Number 77, Gregory, but he didn't let it... Bradshaw is a strong dude.
We're back live. Third down, 16. Bradshaw. Steps up in the pocket, throws it for T-Bell, and overthrows him. He had him turned the wrong way. Actually, Cliff Harris had a better shot at it than T-Bell. So the Steelers will have to kick on fourth down here, and Colquitt is into the lineup. .14:10 to play in regulation time. Colquitt kicking to Butch Johnson, number 86. He's back at his 35-yard line. Craig's had 2 dandy punts tonight. Another beauty. Driving Johnson back to the 24-yard line. To the 30 and out of bounds to the 32. Good coverage by the special teams. Only an 8-yard return and a kick of 47 yards. Boy, am I glad this is preseason. We got to get our act together, you guys. Dorsett dots the I. Pearson in motion coming our way. Newhouse had a little daylight. Stormed through it, made the most out of it, didn't he? Look at him ride a couple of tacklers out of bounds. He had Beasley at the bottom. Winford gains in that Terry on the top, and he carried all 3 of them for 5 yards. Robert Newhouse, who almost was a Pittsburgh Steeler, Andy, when it came down to drafting.
Look at Stan. You talk about a human bowling ball.
Back 7 years ago, it was a flip of a coin between Franco Harris and Robert Newhouse.
Well, we unquestionably made the right decision. If it was a flip of a coin, then we were very lucky because there's no question that Franco is the best running back. Right now, I don't think the Steelers would trade Franco for any player in the league, even up.
Well, I take exception to that, but we don't have time to debate its merits. Dorsett to the 41-yard line. He'll be a yard shy of a first down. So the Cowboys will have third and very, very short to keep their drive alive, but time is now becoming a factor with under 13 and a half minutes to play fourth quarter, and the Steelers enjoying a 10-point advantage.
Okay, the Steeler defense has tightened up considerably since the first half. They had a lot of good fortune in that last drive with penalties, but they've got to play strong here. It'd be nice to take the ball. Third down, takeaway down.
It won't be easy. Double tight end. And Dorsett broke out of the grasp of Jack Ham and dived for the first down. Great effort by Dorsett.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a con.
Trying to lull you into a false sense of security, aren't they?
Sure.
All the great backs seem to have that mannerism. And a flag is down. I think a timeout has been called. Too much delay of game. Well, they should have called a timeout if they didn't, Sam. So it's 5-yard walk-off. First down and 15.
Delay of game. Offense.
Lois Blackwell, number 24, replaces Dorsett. Play action from Staubach. Firing downfield to Tony Hill, and it's overthrown to the Winford. Gaines had great coverage. Step for step with Tony Hill.
Well, Mumble Gaines did a great job that time. He had perfect position. It almost looked like Hill was covering him. And he took the proper cutoff angle and really just rode Hill right out of bounds.
Interesting to note that Staubach, the former Heisman Trophy winner in 1963, plays in the same backfield with Tony Dorsett, another Heisman Trophy winner, 76. And I guess the New England Patriots would be the only other team that could lay claim to that with Plunkett and O.J. Simpson. I mean, San Francisco 49ers with Plunkett and Simpson. Couldn't think of anybody else. 2 Heisman winners in the same backfield. Blackwell. Fake draw. Pump fake by Staubach. Overthrows Pearson. Wagner had great coverage on Pearson. And he was ably assisted by Anderson, 30, and Terry, 41. The kids were back there with the veteran. Notre Dame youngster, number 49 for the Steelers, being replaced by Dirt Winston. 3rd down, 15. Staubach from the shotgun. Pressure. Now starts to run at the 40. 45. Got almost to midfield. He did, in fact. Boy, somebody was pursuing him all over the field, and he was just outside his grasp. That somebody was John Banaszak, 76, who just couldn't quite get to Staubach.
Fred Anderson was also pursuing him, and he just couldn't get the claw on him.
That's what it
looked as though he just couldn't grab a hold of that jersey. Staubach is a pretty nifty little runner, and he can pick up the gains.
Steelers go to a twin safety for the first time tonight. Rudershan is 40, T-Bell is 83. And in the absence of Jim Smith, who not only is an outstanding receiving prospect, but a great return specialist, Chuck Knowles got to give Bell a chance. They're kicking to Rudershan. Good kick by White. High bounce. They try to spike it and get it back out again, but not successful was Aaron Kyle, number 25. So the Steelers will put it in play from their own 20-yard line. There's a timeout on the field. Pittsburgh continues to lead Dallas 13-3. As you look at the Steeler huddle, let me tell you that Chuck Noll has made some wholesale changes offensively. Rick Mosier, 39. Alvin Maxson, 28, the setbacks. Bradshaw still the quarterback. Rudershan, 40, is split to the top of your screen. T-Bell, 83, to the bottom. Grossman is the tight end. Steve Corson, 77, is an offensive guard. Hicks, 61, leading the block for Mosier. Sprung him for a nice gain. Mosier now on his own to the 30-yard line. Look at the great effort by the Rhode Island rookie, Rick Mosier.
Well, that was an impressive run. Again, Dallas Cowboy tried to block him down rather than wrap him up. Number 39, good block by John Hicks. He just runs over some people right there. Keeps his feet, goes on for some extra yardage. T.D. Lewis eventually making sure, number 50.
Rick Mosier, a 12-yard gain. First down, Pittsburgh at their 32-yard line. Clock continues to move, 10:39 to go, fourth quarter. Rudershan goes wide right. See his feet at the top of your picture. Quick pitch to Mosier. Cuts it back at the 35, and there he runs into Randy White. Maxson was trying to lead the way. Mosier ran away from his lead block. White and Brunig making the stop after a 3-yard gain.
Well, the Steelers are coming out smoking here. They want to run the ball down Dallas's throat.
Offensive line has been equal to the task. Only one time has Bradshaw been sacked in this football game. That's a great compliment to the offensive line of the Steelers. Quick pitch, Mosier. Cuts it up. 40, 42-yard line. Very close to another Steeler first down. Rick Mosier, trying to earn himself a spot on the club, is doing everything imaginable here in this series of offensive plays.
He had a nice block that time by Alvin Maxson, who got out there and cut down the linebacker.
Finney comes in for extra blocking help, as does John Cope, 55. Maxson gets the call. Stacked up, spins for the first down if they allow it.
Good second effort by Alvin Maxson. He got it, too. He spun off. He wasn't going to be denied.
So the Steelers' big first down will leave plenty of time off the clock. 8:35 to go. Bell and Rudershan come back in the lineup. Bradshaw has gone all the way at quarterback tonight. We expected that the fourth quarter might bring us Kruzik or perhaps even Cliff Stout, but it has not been that way. Noel believing that Bradshaw needs the work. He had a great first half throwing the football, but he has not done particularly well here in the second half. He's got a man there. T-Bell, first reception of the night. Will they allow it at the 44-yard line of Dallas? They will will not, apparently, saying that he trapped the football.
The ball was well thrown, and T-Bell, we see him, number 83, walking back to the huddle. Just wasn't able to hold on to it. Now let's take a look here. Yeah, good call. It bounced off the ground back up into his lap.
Second down, 10 at the 42-yard line.
He looks strong. He's probably totally fatigued.
I bet these guys, what will they lose tonight, Andy? 8, 10 pounds, some of them?
The big ones can lose up to 15 pounds.
Second sack of the night for the Cowboys. Harvey Martin was there. So too Ed Too Tall Jones. And Guy Brown, that brilliant linebacker, the second-year man from Houston, number 59. And Bradshaw went down for a huge loss, 10 yards to be exact. Mosier and Maxson, the running backs. Nothing special. 2 wide receivers. The tight end is still Grossman. Bradshaw being chased out by Gregory. Oh, he's all over him, isn't he? Tried to cut it upfield and goes down to the 25. Laterals it off. And Larry Brown carries it to midfield. I have seen everything.
Let's not forget that Larry Brown is a former tight end.
Did he move, huh?
He can fly, and he is some kind of athlete. Look at him, number 79, Larry Brown, who's developed into one of the finest offensive tackles around. The Steelers thinks he's one of the best. I think Bradshaw.
Just getting to his feet and being helped by Mosier. We'll have to look at it again to see how it all developed. But Larry Brown, now Brunig, conferring with the referee over something. I don't remember having seen a penalty marker down. More than a lateral, I think Bradshaw just coughed it up, and Brown was so opportunistic in scooping up the ball, and in one fell swoop was moving with it.
Larry is really a fine athlete. The Steeler basketball team, he demonstrates a lot of talent. You know, he can dunk the ball, and he's got very good hand-eye coordination. And, you know, sometimes people forget that an offensive lineman.
Personal foul, clipping, offense.
Now we can see the official.
Clipping against the Steelers. Here it is. I think you'll see Brown pick it off in midair after Bradshaw gets trapped.
Gregory caused the pressure. Brad has to run. Again, Brad is struggling back in. The ball is stripped right there by number 54, Randy White. And look at this big horse move on down the field.
I gave Bradshaw too much credit, thinking that he had presence of mind to lateral the ball. He didn't have any choice. Here's Terry on 3rd and 25. Still scrambling. Fires it on the near sidelines, but too low for T-Bell. Great coverage in the secondary by the Cowboys. So it'll be Colquitt now with the responsibility of getting Pittsburgh out of trouble. And they all are coming. Colquitt got it away. Good kick at that. Johnson back to his 26. 30. He's got nobody to help him out. Look at that great special teams coverage. Anderson 30. Somebody else was down there. 46 yards on the kick and a 2-yard return. And Chuck Knowles got to be beaming about his special teams tonight, including his punter. There's a timeout on the field to score. Pittsburgh 13 and Dallas 3. Boys have the ball at their own 28-yard line. And in jeopardy of going 2-2 in the preseason. They beat San Francisco decisively. They edged Denver 21-14. They lost to Houston embarrassingly last week, 27-13. And are in danger of losing to the Steelers as Blackwell sweeps to the 30. And out of bounds at the 35-yard line. A Lois Blackwell, the ball carrier, run out by Larry Anderson. At this moment is the 6th linebacker. Actually, he's the 5th, I guess, with Taves out. But everybody figures the Steelers to carry 5 linebackers, and Doug Becker is the 6th. And he's a good kid. Incomplete. In and out of the hands of Golden Richards, who got stuck by Dirt Winston. Tony Hill comes to the bottom of your screen. He's out of it. Jay Saldy, in fact, is the man you see there. Outside of him is Hill. And Pearson is slotted. Shotgun. Staubach has all day. Saldy across the middle, complete at the 49-yard line. That will be a Dallas first down.
Well, the Steelers blitzed on that play and really weren't effective. They didn't get the pressure they had. And when you blitz, you're putting added responsibility, added pressure on your defensive backs. and Staubach just had too much time. Eventually, somebody's going to get open.
Two setbacks are Lois Blackwell and Robert Newhouse. Staubach to throw. Knocked down by Johnson, who went high in the air. There's a 5'10" kid who can leap a ton.
He really can. He skied on that one, and he's upset with himself for dropping the ball. But I don't know about all the players, but I know personally, and I don't wear glasses, Sam, and I used to have trouble in these night games. You don't see the ball well. You look up into the lights, and that thing's coming a mile a minute, and it's hard to catch the ball. We've seen a lot of people tonight drop the football.
Staubach has thrown it 36 times tonight. That's out of character for the Cowboys. 17 completions, 227 yards. No touchdowns. There's a draw to Newhouse. Well diagnosed by the Steelers. And short yardage, if any. Newhouse stopped by Dirt Winston, 53. Nat Terry, 41. What was White jogging up and down about?
Well, I don't know. The Steeler defense has got to be pleased because they want them to run the football. Go ahead, eat that clock up.
Down to 5:40.
Hey, Sam, this is a great football game. We're beating the world champs here. We're beating the Super Bowl champs.
And loving every minute of it, huh? When was the last time you saw a broadcast out of Texas Stadium and could roll a bowling ball down for sound? This place is like quiet. Staubach. Caught beautifully by Hill. He took it away from Dungy. And a first down, Cowboys at the 36. Dungy played the ball and lost, but it was a gamble that he may win 8 out of 10 times, Andy.
Well, that's right. All right, Staubach dropping back. Gets great protection. Beasley coming around, but pushed on by. And Tony took the cutoff angle. I think he thought he had it, and he just didn't quite get there. Good play by Tony Hill from Stanford. They've got real fine receivers. They've got a lot of backup depth there, Sam.
Well, the Cowboy fans, 60,000 plus, starting to make a little bit of noise, but they've been sitting on their hands here in the fourth quarter. And justifiably so, because the Steeler defense has really shut them down. Here's Blackwell, cutting inside a block to about the 20, or rather 33-yard line. Pickup of maybe 4 yards on the carry at the absolute most. Give them 3, make it second down 7. And the clock continues to go. 4:20 to go in the game. Blackwell is a very impressive and very quick young running back. Unfortunately for him, he's going to have to play in the shadow of number 33, the Hawk.
Yeah, I don't think you'd want to be the backup running back for the Dallas Cowboys.
For Tony Dorsett, particularly.
That's right. That's what I mean.
The guy's got 12, 15 years to play.
Although they say they consider Preston Pearson a starter.
Well, he plays enough. Pressure from behind. Banaszak's got him along with Dwight White. And the Steelers, after really putting some pressure on for most of the night, finally get to Staubach. And it's Banaszak and White who get a half a sack apiece.
John Banaszak has had an impressive night. Looks like Dwight White is slightly hurt there. He's limping off the field. George Perlis has been interchanging these defensive linemen on a regular basis. I think a lot of it has to do with fatigue. They've got to have be close to heat prostration.
Third down and 12, so the shotgun will be loaded again for Dallas. Tony Hill, number 80, is in there. He goes wide to the left. Drew Pearson to the right. Preston Pearson and Scott Laidlaw are on the wings. And Staubach in his familiar 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Throws it out here for Pearson. Necktie tackled by Tony Dungy, but not before Drew Pearson gets a first down. Boy, he is some receiver. I don't think there's anybody in the league better than Drew Pearson.
Well, he's certainly effective. I wouldn't say he's as talented as Lynn Swan. There are certain catches that I believe only Lynn Swan can make, but Pearson is a very productive receiver. He plays hurt, and you're right in saying that he's just one heck of a player. In that particular instance, Tony Dungy was playing very deep. He's saying everything's got to happen in front of me. They literally gave that pass to the Cowboys. They got to in this game.
Pearson has 5 catches for 97 yards tonight. Boy, he is a big, you talk about big play guys. Drew Pearson led the league with an 18-yard average per catch last year. Here's Staubach in the end zone and overthrew. number 26, Preston Pearson.
Preston is a good receiver. He caught 47 passes last year. That's a lot of passes for anybody to catch, even a wide receiver. And you see him jogging back to the huddle. He's got explosive speed. He'll slow down. He knows how to run patterns. The Steeler linebackers just couldn't cover him, which made us extremely nervous when he was traded to Dallas, because that meant we had to cover the man we had problems covering in practice.
Steelers are going to charter back to Pittsburgh tonight. It's almost midnight back there. Would be on the plane by 2 in the morning. Back home about 4:30, I would imagine, to Greater Pitt International Airport. 2:51 to go in the game. Staubach wants some points, and he wants them badly. In the end zone, touchdown Dallas. Drew Pearson.
Well, there he is. He's a great player, and he just broke to the outside away from Mike Wagner. Staubach dropping back with all day to throw the ball. No pressure. The Steelers were probably in a zone. I say probably because, frankly, Sam, I have no idea what they were in. But it's a touchdown, and we got ourselves a ball game here with 2:46 left.
With a conversion, Sherrill can narrow the gap to 3 points and make an overtime period a very distinct possibility. Waters with a good placement. The kick is no good. Thank heavens, we could have been here until 2 in the morning.
I'll tell you what happened. The snap was bad. Waters was lucky to even get. We see Staubach dropping back on the touchdown pass. He does have a lot of time. And Drew Pearson just goes up there and outfights Mike Wagner for the ball.
So there's a timeout on the field to score. Pittsburgh 13 and Dallas 9. That we have to see. Swan and Bradshaw leaning over him. That very well could be John Stallworth. And I'd better not be anything more than just a loss of wind.
You know, John was put in on that kickoff return team. Normally he's not in there because they wanted to be ready for the onside kick, so they took the big linemen that are normally in there, took them out and put in some wide receivers because they're more used to handling the ball. John, being the kind of football player he is, went back and tried to block somebody. Looks like he got the wind knocked out of him.
Oh, I hope that's all it is, Andy. Oh, my goodness. Can you imagine the anxious moments? He's holding his arm. He's got a wrist or an arm injury.
It doesn't look good with our situation with Jim Smith out with the ankle.
Let's pause 5 seconds for station identification.
This is 11 Alive, WIC TV Pittsburgh.
And so, the Steelers, all of a sudden, deathly silence seems to carry over to the sideline area where Stallworth and Dr. Steele walk back to the bench as Bradshaw brings him to the line of scrimmage and gives to Maxson. Trying to get outside, is brought down for no gain. Bob Brunig, the middle linebacker. Already having lost Jim Smith, having traded Frank Lewis to Buffalo, and down to 3 veteran receivers, T-Bell, Stallworth, and Swan, with Randy Rudershan as a 4th receiver. Stallworth helped off the field in the last 2.5 minutes of this game. And then use the sideline as Staubach and Pearson do so magnificently. Bradshaw to pass. Too tall, Jones knocked it right back in his face. 3rd down, 10.
I'll tell you, Sam,
really have a must down here.
There's just not much you can do about that. Larry Brown was in good position, was holding Too Tall off. He couldn't penetrate, and Too Tall just jumped up, and he's like Will Chamberlain. That's an exaggeration. Well, I shouldn't exaggerate, but here we see it. Too Tall to the outside. Larry Brown in good position, number 79. He's an excellent. Now watch Too Tall just get up there, and of course Brad probably didn't even see him. The ball wasn't thrown that high.
Well, what was a good first quarter has deteriorated into a very bad game for Bradshaw. He is 6 out of 17. Sacked twice, 111 yards, and he's in danger of getting sacked again. Aaron Kyle, number 25, and the Cowboys are alive and kicking.
Well, they came again with that cornerback blitz, Aaron Kyle is obviously a little bit quicker than Terry. Terry, seeing that no one had picked him up, tried to outrun him, but was tracked down by Aaron Kyle. Here we see him, number 25, coming up inside. Terry already trying to outrun him. And here it's just a foot race. And Kyle sucks him up, and we've got a punting situation.
So we're back live, and Colquitt needs a boomer here. Good kick by Craig up to the 42-yard line. Johnson to the 45, 50, and out of bounds. So the Cowboys are 50 yards away and 2 minutes from winning the football game. There's a timeout on the field, a 2-minute warning. Pittsburgh leading Dallas 13-9. 1 minute and 56 seconds left in regulation time of a football game that has really been hotly contested tonight. It started out as if it might be a high-scoring affair. The defenses took over, and we have had a great football game between two outstanding teams. At the moment, Tom Landry is losing 13-9, but the Cowboys have it at the 48-yard line of Pittsburgh. Boy, they gave Butch Johnson every inch that they think he earned on that return. He appeared to step out at the midfield stripe. They gave him the 48. It matters not. The Cowboys have a distance to go. The Steeler defense has its work cut out for it. The swing pass. Dorsett out of bounds at the 40. Gary Dunn and Dwight White. Ham, Winston, and Cole at the linebackers. Blunt and Johnson at the corners. Wagner and Dungy at the safety. Staubach on second down. Some pressure over the middle, complete. To his tight end, incomplete to Jay Saldy. And Dirt Winston was all over him.
I'll tell you, Dirt Winston, I think he stole that ball and intercepted it. He's not objecting hard enough about it.
No, I don't think so.
If he had intercepted it, he'd want to...
He might have stripped Saldy of the football, though, so it's 3rd down and 2 Dallas. A minute 43 to go in the game. They continue to shuttle their guard, 68 Herb Scott, bringing a play in, obviously, from the bench. Well, it isn't so obvious. Why would I say something like that? Staubach's been through a heck of a lot in 10 years. I'm sure he knows what to call in 3rd and 2. In a ball game that's gone down to the final 2 minutes. Staubach lining up in the shotgun with Preston Pearson behind him. How's that for an alignment? Swing to press. Nothing doing. Johnson throws it for a 5-yard loss.
That's a big play by the rookie Ron Johnson. And he is an aggressive young man, as we can see. He's not about to be intimidated by the veteran Preston Pearson.
White came over and added a bit of fuel to the fire. And Joe Green tries to settle everything down. And absolutely huge play in the career of one rookie, Ron Johnson, who diagnosed the screen to Pearson, absolutely got in between the interference and made the tackle for a 5-yard loss. So it's 4th down 6. The Cowboys with a do-or-die play. A minute 7 to go on a moving clock. Staubach over the middle, complete to Hill. 1st down to the 24, and a big play by the Cowboys.
Tony Hill apparently is a very confident young man. He is playing, of course, behind Drew Pearson, but he's been quoted in their press guide as saying that if he didn't play behind Pearson, he'd be all pro.
The clock tells it all. Here it is again, Andy.
Okay, a lot of time. Again, no one really threatening him. In the seam of the zone, Tony Hill getting open, Dirt Winston trying to strip the ball loose. But I think one of our problems here is that the Steeler front four is exhausted. And we're seeing perhaps that's being rectified at the present time with a couple replacements going in. John Banaszak replacing Joe Green and Beasley replacing, or rather Beasley replacing Joe Green and Banaszak replacing L.C. Greenwood. Lambert coming in for Dirt Winston. The players have to be fighting fatigue. And when it comes to rushing the passer, that's probably to the Dallas Cowboys advantage. They want the victory very badly. And this thing's coming right down the wire.
They have spilled some blood on the artificial surface here at Texas Stadium tonight. You can rest assured. First down at the 23-yard line of Pittsburgh, and Staubach back to pass. He's got a man. Dungy stepped in front of Butch Johnson at the last minute and broke it up. Great play by Tony Dungy.
It was just a great play, as you say, Sam. And I'll tell you, Butch Johnson did a good job of stripping the ball from Tony Dungy. Tony had himself an interception. Okay, take a look at it. Pretty good pressure by Banaszak, forcing him to step up. Looks like he might have been held also at the same time. Great play by Tony Dungy. He's a player. He took the proper cutoff angle that time.
Well, apparently Banaszak was held because that's the call, and the walk-off ensued. And so the Cowboys now have 34 yards to go instead of 24, and they've lost 5 seconds on the clock. But it's first down and 20. Cowboys need a touchdown to win it. They had a chance to put themselves within range of a field goal, but a bad snap from center forced a missed extra point by Jay Sherrill. 13-9 Pittsburgh. The shotgun for Rodgers. Over the middle. Dupree has it. Down at the 15-yard line. Jack Lambert has him, but Billy Joe Dupree has the first down at the 15-yard line.
You know, the Steelers have shown a real change in strategy from their former years. They're in these situations over the last 2 or 3 years, they would invariably go to them tight, aggressive man-to-man and say, beat us. Here we have seen the entire half a zone where we are playing cautious, safe football, saying the Dallas Cowboys are not going to be patient enough. They're going to make a mistake. Well, we've got 37 seconds left in this ball game to prove whether or not that change in philosophy is going to work.
The Cowboys have spent a timeout, and I have misrepresented the situation. It's a yard shy of a first down, and I beg your pardon, third down Dallas. They are a yard shy. 37 seconds. That is really out of character for Dallas.
Well, that's right. They can't run the ball against that tough Steeler defense, so they're putting it up every time, and you're going to make some complete passes on his own.
Cowboys have no timeouts left. Staubach to pass. Over the middle. Touchdown Dallas. Tony Hill.
Well, Staubach dropping back. He's got a lot of time. Good. Tony Hill gets inside the zone. And we see the touchdown. Tony Hill made a lot of big plays tonight. And I just don't believe that zone defense, you can't play it every down.
So Sherrill now attempting to make it 16-13. Out of the Waters hole, the kick is up and good. And the Steelers now, with but one timeout and 31 seconds to play, find themselves trailing in this football game for the first time tonight. Dallas 16 and Pittsburgh 13. I really believe it could happen.
I do too. These are two great football teams we're watching tonight.
Anderson bobbles it, picks it up at the 12. 20, trying to get outside. Gets out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Great piece of running by Larry Anderson. And so 22 seconds remains on the clock. Bradshaw will have T-Bell and Lynn Swan to throw to. As you look at Larry Anderson, the rookie from Louisiana Tech, who's almost a shoo-in to make this ball club now.
You know, I talked to the Dallas coaches before the game, and they said the hardest defense for them to play against was the Steeler defense because they played that tight man-to-man. They couldn't get anybody open. They couldn't find anybody. And tonight we played almost all zone.
Well, as They say that Anderson stepped out of the 27, so he doesn't even get the 30. Cowboys over the middle, T-ball to midfield. And the Steelers will take their final timeout, or will they? Here they come rushing to get off a quick play. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. 6 seconds. I wonder if Bradshaw knows